What the hell? Let's go ahead and get started. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monk, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about the same thing we've been talking about for it feels like a week now. But we're going to be talking about Miss Sydney Sweeney today. Let's bring her up on the screen just because she's so pleasant to look at. We'll get to her in a couple of minutes. We have some other things to talk about before then. And I'm totally only putting her on the screen so I know if I get disconnected because Jack's not here yet. Whoopsie. But let's talk about what's going on in the chat right now because first things first, right? In the chat, it was brought up about YouTube's new AI verification. And look, it's going to hit some people that are of age, but calm down. It's not going to make a bunch of YouTube channels go poof, as you said there, Wade. This is what it is. YouTube has been using this technology overseas for a while now, but they look at your usage here on YouTube, and their AI then guesses how old you are, whether you're under 18 or not specifically. Part of this is because of the Justice Department going after them. Remember the Consumer Protection Bureau going after them for advertising to kids. So part of that agreement is to try to keep kids from being specifically targeted for advertising. And that's a big part of this, is that if you're under 18 by their determination, then they're going to automatically kick in these things. Even if you said, yes, I'm 18. They're going to kick in things like you can't go watch Monkey's show. You can't go watch most people I watch. But they're not doing it just willy-nilly. The behavior and the kinds of videos and stuff you watch. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to have some people who get caught up in it who actually are adults? Probably. Is that going to affect anybody listening to me right now? No. Nope. Not at all. So, yeah, there's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way. I get why they're doing it. Do I think it's the right way to handle it? I don't know. I'm not a company that's being, targeted by several governments and being blamed for all the shit that goes on when people don't watch their children. But I don't know. As long as it's not the government forcing me to do shit, I have a much smaller problem with it. Now, if you do get swept up in this, there's ways you can prove you're an adult. Apparently with a credit card number or a copy of your ID. Sure, why not? I just don't think it's going to be the big deal that everybody's worried about right now. YouTubers have a tendency to panic over everything. It was just a couple of days ago I was told that you can't get an audience at all because they're making it so audiences don't see you, and numbers are dropping everywhere. Everybody's not, the only people whose numbers were dropping were people who were getting botted, people who were using bots for their views. They're like, look at how my numbers have dropped 50%. That's weird. Mine haven't changed at all. You'd think there'd be some kind of thing there if everybody was getting hit by this stuff. The quartering. Let's not talk about who. The change that happened there is that they actually changed it so that they used to promote like your first 4 videos a day or 5, I think it was. And they bumped that down to only your first 3 of the day get pumped out. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. And because somebody misread, I don't even know how they did it. Somebody misread what the shorts update was. They're like, they're counting views differently now. No, they're not. They're not. But that's how YouTubers flip out, especially when they don't know what actually is going on behind the scenes. So with this one, at least there is actually something going on behind the scenes. And yes, some of you may end up, if you watch a lot of Spider-Man and Elsa, yeah, you might get clicked as a child. You watch a lot of Miss Rachel, you're probably going to get clicked as a child. So, maybe look up some news now and then. Maybe watch my show 2 or 3 times a day. But anyway, that's actually not one of the things I planned to talk about tonight. I hadn't even heard about that until I got into chat today. But don't freak out, guys. Just wait and see. Give it some time. Most of the time, it's nothing. Most of the people who will be affected by this actually are children. And yeah. So before we get to our main topic, which is Miss Sydney, because it's Sydney. And okay, can I just be honest with you guys? Can I just say it? I'm only talking about this because other people won't stop talking about it. And it gives me a chance to put a beautiful woman in my thumbnail and laugh at retards. And anytime I get the chance to do that, I'm absolutely going to do it. If I can laugh at morons while having big old boobies on my screen, you better believe we're going to do it. But there's a little bit more to it also. I just watched Idiocracy. I asked you guys the other night or last night, whichever it was, if I should watch it. Told you it was free on Amazon. I apologize. I need to check that out or check myself on that. It's actually free with YouTube Premium, which I do have. I have my YouTube Premium here. And I don't like ads. And it's a small price to pay not to have to watch an ad. You know why I kept my premium? This is true, because I got rid of it for like a week. And then I noticed as I was listening to music, there was a fucking commercial after every song. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I got my premium back. And I watched Idiocracy. And for all of you who love Idiocracy, you're going to get a little upset with me. But hear me out. Only the first 5 minutes of that movie is funny. The rest of it is a running joke that they beat into the ground horribly. By the end of that movie, I was like, please let this be over. Please let this finish. Stop this. I get it. Everybody's dumb. I get it. Everybody's dumb. Yep. Everybody's dumb. Oh, look, they're showing everybody be dumb again. Oh, and look, they're dumb again. It should have been a sketch on, I was going to say SNL, but it was, at least the first part of it was funny. So it should have been a sketch way back on Mad TV when that was a thing. And I want to say it's an SNL movie. I know, or at least I don't think SNL was involved here, but that's what it feels like. It feels like an SNL movie, like Here's Pat or Wayne's World, where they're like, we have this 2-minute concept. Let's turn it into a 90-minute movie. That said, I do get why it's brought up all the time when people are like, oh, we're living in Idiocracy. Because I watched a girl today who said that because the water is blue in Florida, they must be dyeing it because that's not the color of water. Yeah, that's a real thing that happened. And they weren't joking. So I get why people bring up Idiocracy all the time. It's just not that great of a movie. You should just watch the first 15 minutes and you get the whole fucking joke. The whole joke is beaten to death by then. But that opening part with the 2 different couples was fucking hilarious. That part was spot on and wonderful. My problem with it, though, if I, dig in a little deeper, is that it basically says, the stupid people just outbreed the smart people. And that's not what's leading to our dumbness. It's actually the smart people, supposedly, the college-educated ones, who are coming out with all the stupid. It's not Billy Bob living in the trailer. It's not Jim Bob and his cousin and his wife/sister that are just pushing out inbred babies and they come out and like, I don't know what water is. That's not what's happening. It's actually the smart people. I'm using air quotes. It's the smart people who are causing everybody to be dumber. It's the smart people who came out and told us a woman is whoever identifies as a woman. That's what Idiocracy gets wrong if you're looking at it from what causes the stupid. Look, the final effect is the same, but it kind of gives an excuse or a pass to the academics who are causing the problem by blaming it all on just the mass breeding of morons? No, it's not the mass breeding of morons. They are the ones who are breeding the most. That part of it is actually pretty spot on, but it's those intellectual elites who are leading us down the road to stupid. Anyway, there's my overall critique of the movie. Again, I don't regret watching it, and I don't hate anybody who told me, hey, you should watch this. Again, the first part of it was great. They just beat the joke. They just beat it over and over and over. It was like a bad parody movie where it's like somebody's like, oh, I got a couple of jokes based on this movie. I'll make a whole 90-minute movie with just those 3 jokes. I know what you got. If you watch parody movies, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move along, shall we? Speaking of idiots, Zoran, how do you say his fucking name? Mamdani. We're just going to call him that because I don't have any respect for this man. Let's call him douchebag. Douchebag here, who's probably going to be the next mayor of New York City, came out the other day with his thoughts and prayers for the wounded officer, and a whole bunch of people went, excuse me, remember when you said that cop crying in his car was nature healing? And he was actually asked about that today at a press conference. Well, I guess yesterday now, at a press conference.
Thank you. I'm sorry that you're coming back to this, as we all are. Thank you. I was actually just with former Governor Cuomo, and he was asked specifically, about a statement I believe you already made a day or 2 ago that cheap political points, which you just said should not be scored in a moment like this. And he said effectively, if he doesn't like it, perhaps he should retract some of the words he has said previously, talking about police being racist or anti-LGBTQ, or that they should be defunded or dismantled. So this is a little bit of...
Some of these fuckers ask really long questions. They got to set it all up. Cuomo was asked a question and he answered it. Well, what are your thoughts? But that's not exactly where he goes.
What Marcia asked, but as you've grown and reflected, and I feel, in fairness to you, you've been good about talking about growing and reflecting and always having conversations. Do you wish you hadn't said some of those things a few years?
Can we just stop at that ass kissing that the reporter did there? I don't know how well the audio is coming through because this is a press conference and there's not a microphone right in his face. But he's like, talking about the comments you made way back when, but you have mentioned about I think it's really great that you talk about reflecting and growing. He hasn't shown any reflection or growing. He's stood by his shit. He's never once apologized for it. And this reporter then gives him the chance. Do you regret saying those things? Now, there's a very easy answer here. Yes, I regret what I said there. It was childish. I was lashing out. I was mad about other things. So saying that nature was healing by a cop crying in his car, yeah, that was probably uncalled for. There you go. There's a good political answer. Or you could just go, no, I don't regret what I said. I meant what I said. You could do that. You could do that. It wouldn't show that growth and change that reporter was just fondling your balls over. But there's nothing wrong with saying that. If you genuinely believed it, there's nothing wrong with saying, no, I don't regret that at all. I've said a lot of horrible shit in my life. I regret almost none of it. I say almost none because I'm sure there's some I'm like, ooh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. But most of the time, not at all. But I'm not a politician, so I don't have to pretend that I've grown as a human. Anyway, Mamdani goes a different route.
My statements in 2020 were ones made amidst a frustration that many New Yorkers held at the murder of George Floyd and the inability to deliver on what Eric Adams, of all people, described.
By the way, Eric Adams was the police chief in 2020 when he was saying this shit. He wasn't the mayor yet, so I don't know why he's bringing up Eric Adams there. Eric Adams got elected in 2021, so he takes office in 2022, at the beginning of 2022.
As the right for all of us to be able to enjoy safety and justice, that we need not choose between the two. I know that Governor Cuomo.
Okay, the question was, do you regret what you said? The answers are yes or no. And instead you give us, I was frustrated. See, this way he gets to claim, there's like, look, I said that I don't necessarily, I said I was frustrated and I've grown since then and talked to some people. He didn't say, yes, he regrets it. He gave a bullshit political answer. And then he goes on to we're not going to watch the rest of this, but he goes on to say, I'll drop it in chat for anybody who wants to verify. He says this, I realize Governor Cuomo wants to live in the past, both my statements and his career. This has become the new thing from the Democrats. It's like, hey, all of that shit that I said, you can't bring that up. That's in the past, yo. That's in the past. We can only talk about the future. No, just because I said horrible shit and meant it, why? What? And still mean it? Why should we talk about the past? Why? Look, I'm not wanting. I think Cuomo's a piece of shit. I really do. But compared to this piece of shit, 100%. If you're in New York and you're like, I'm a Democrat, I got to vote for one of these guys. Vote Cuomo. Cuomo killed a whole bunch of people. He did, and he got away with it. And that's horrible. This man's legacy is going to be getting a whole bunch more killed. It's not just going to be grandma and grandpa. It's going to be a whole bunch of people because communism kills. But his fucking answer you didn't even come close to addressing the question. And then you have the nerve to turn to, actually, I realize they want to live in the past, but it's the present right now. And I want to talk about the future. Get fucked, you dirty piece of shit. You don't even have the balls to stand by your own words. And your growth sure as hell didn't lead you to apologizing for what you said. So how does anybody take this guy seriously? That's not even a good political answer. That was a dodge. That was a Kamala answer. Speaking of Kamala, it's been reported that she said she is not running for governor in California when it comes up, what, this year? Next year? I forget. Whenever their election comes up. She's not running, you guys. She's decided not to. Which is great for California. Actually, it's not great for California because you're going to get a Democrat governor, and believe it or not, there are people worse than her. I'm not telling you to vote for her. I'm actually telling you don't vote for the Democrats. But there's only one reason she wouldn't run. Well, okay, there's a couple of reasons. One is that she thinks she's going to lose. Oh, real quick. Hi, Jack. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How you doing?
I am okay. Except for now I'm deaf because I had my volume up. And
what did we learn?
We learned that you're very loud tonight because I even turned it down and you're still kind of loud.
What? No.
Are you like right up on your mic?
Nope. Same distance as always.
Am I the only one that hears him much louder than normal? Anyway, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
We were just talking about Kamala deciding not to run for governor.
Oh.
Jack is loud. Yeah, I don't know why the StreamYard should normalize that for us. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. Same distance, microphone's same.
Huh.
Let me shut my mic off and turn it on again. Otherwise, Mr. E has a birthday.
Ah, okay. It's not my fault. Nuts is in here to tell me. I need her to point those things out. Okay.
Is that better?
Sounds about the same. You're not horrible, so I'm not worried about it, but you are just a little louder than normal.
Oh, well, I can drop and come back real quick.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Let's sing to Mr. E.
Okay.
Mr. E, it's your birthday. I waited for Jack, monkey. Wow. Wow. You know what? I'm going to take that as you wanted both of us and not that you prefer him to me because my ego won't allow me to believe the latter. Mr. E, it's your birthday, and around here we do this. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Mr.
Mr.
E.
E.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday, sir. Hope you have a good one. I wanted both of you to sing yes. Thank you for inflating my ego like that. I appreciate it. So, Jack, anyway, I was just saying that Kamala has decided not to run for governor of California. And I think there's a couple of reasons that could have made this happen. One, if she loses, it kills any presidential hopes going forward. I don't think she would lose in California. Caveat. We'll come back to that in a minute. Asterisk, I guess, is what I really want. I think she would win. But if she didn't, if she loses the presidential election, followed by losing a gubernatorial election, and then tries running in 2028 for president, she's going to get laughed at harder than Beto O'Rourke did.
Yeah.
She would need a guaranteed win. Part of her guaranteed win, though, would also have to be promising to do her full term, because people get mad when it's like, she's only running so she can run for president. So I think that could be part of it, is that they're like, if you lose this, you're done. On the other side of that, if she doesn't become governor by the time the 2028 rolls around, the only thing she's remembered as is the person who lost last time. That's Trump winning after having lost an election, I'm using air quotes, is unusual in American history. That's only happened a couple of times, when the person who loses as the party candidate wins the next election or wins another election somewhere down the road for president. Nixon did it. FDR did it. Not FDR. Teddy Roosevelt did it. And Trump. It doesn't happen very often. And for somebody who lose the primary and not have been president, in modern times, Nixon is the only one. Literally the only one. And his is separated by more than a decade, Jack.
Yeah.
So the other thing that might have happened is the party, which would include the press, told her they wouldn't support her. Which I could see with how badly she handled the presidential election. You don't want to be the person who's up there going, she's our girl. And then she goes to the debates and she's like, I don't know. What happened to some of the people in her campaign? They don't have careers anymore, some of these folks. And they shouldn't, because they had a bad candidate and should have just told the people or quit and been like, I'm not going down with this sinking ship. So either way, she's not running, which pretty much guarantees she won't be a candidate that's taken seriously in 2028, because she's going to be forgotten. No, have you noticed nobody's put this bitch on TV?
Yeah.
Shit, man. Nobody associated with her is being pumped up anywhere. Not even the last hanger-ons of the Biden administration are being put out there anywhere, because even the liberal press that loves to hire these people aren't giving them shows or bringing them on as special guests on a regular basis. They're like, nah, they too dumb, man. So this is the last squeal of this woman. I did see somebody suggest that maybe they promised her a SCOTUS nomination.
Why?
Bruh. Look, Ketanji Brown Jackson and Sonia Sotomayor are both retarded. I'm not a fan of Kagan, Jack, but when it came to her congressional confirmation, she didn't necessarily embarrass the way that the other two did. And by comparison, if they put Kamala through a confirmation process, it would make those two look like road fucking scholars. And not just on paper. They'd be like, wow, they're smarter than we gave them credit for. because Kamala's a retard. Sotomayor, is that Japanese? No, it's actually Latina. I'm not sure which flavor of Latina, but yeah, it's Latina. Anybody know her background? Like where her parents came from or her grandparents? I don't know how long she's been in the country. I'm guessing Mexican, but I don't know that for sure. Is Sotomayor a Mexican name?
I have no idea.
Anybody? Where did Sotomayor's name come from? All right, let's get on to the main show because we got to talk about them Sweeney boobs, man. I mean, sorry, the Sweeney ad.
You really should transition from something as repugnant as Sonia Sotomayor to Sydney Sweeney.
I know, but that's where the show was headed. I couldn't help it.
I know, it's just mean.
Somebody bang Sotomayor, dude. I'm just saying.
Does she have kids or something?
She's got a vagina. So
anything.
Somebody banged it. I'm just saying. 80s hair. Yeah, this total woman here.
Sonia Sotomayor is from Puerto Rico. That's where her dad was from.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
This dude here pretending to be a woman. I'm sorry, you're not going to convince me this is a chick. Just the Adam's apple alone is like, come on, man. At least wear a turtleneck so we don't see that. But she has an opinion on the Sydney Sweeney thing. And I feel like we should embrace all of the people who have opinions on this.
Is my microphone down now? Does that sound better?
Sounds about like it did. Sounds like you're talking quieter.
Nope, I turned it down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you're fine, bud.
Okay, just checking.
Anyway.
American Eagle really fucked up this Sydney Sweeney ad because I could have written the perfect American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad. Picture this.
The only surprising part about what comes next is that this dude isn't like, she'd be perfect if she had a wiener like me.
I mean, that would have made sense, but no, this is even dumber than that.
Gentlemen, you're not passing, okay? Please stop.
Sydney Sweeney, she's standing on a cliff.
This looks like a dude cosplaying Joe from Facts of Life.
Wow. Harsh, man.
Am I wrong?
Not entirely, no. I would say it was a dude cosplaying Pee Wee Herman, cosplaying Joe from Facts of Life.
Fair enough.
She's wearing jeans. She's looking around. She's like, wow, it's so pretty. And then suddenly 50 eagles swarm down. They start attacking her. These eagles, they're big as hell. They start pecking off her skin. They start pecking off her face skin. They start ripping out her eyes.
We get the gist, right? This is a dude dressed like a lady having violent fantasies about a woman he doesn't know getting ripped to pieces by an eagle and saying so proudly in public.
What? It's not like this. This does happen a lot, doesn't it?
Why are they like this?
Because some of these people have very violent fantasies that go unchecked because nobody believes mental illness is real anymore. They only believe mental illness is a fashion statement that they can use to their advantage for sympathy.
I am so sorry that I missed the Streamlabs. Let me bring that up. Where is that? Thank you, Bald Potato. I see the problem. You thought a movie starring knockoff Adam Sandler to be a quality other than bad. And yes, I donated just because I thought knock off Adam Sandler and wanted to share. I knew Idiocracy wasn't going to be like a top-notch movie, but I expected it to be, especially with the way it opened, I expected it to be funny throughout, and it just wasn't. That's all.
I heard what you're saying earlier because I was pooping. Yeah, see, I disagree. I think there's more than just the first few minutes. There's some funny jokes throughout. It's just they oversaturate it with the running joke too much that you don't find the other ones quite as funny as they would be otherwise.
I'll give you $1 if you rewatch the movie and find me any joke that can't be boiled down to, look, they're stupid.
Well, that's the entire gag. I mean, it is basically a Mad TV sketch or a series of sketches. And I think it would have been funnier as a series of sketches.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't think all the funny bits are in the first 10 minutes or so. I think that there's a couple of good jokes throughout, but they're buried by everybody stupid being overwhelmingly beat over your head. I would agree with that. That being said, I still like the movie. I don't know why.
I didn't necessarily hate the movie. Like I said, it was overdone. That joke should have been, even a half hour would have been way too long for that. Let's move over to the main event, Jack.
Oh no.
Okay, so I was going to watch this before we reacted to it so that I could be intelligent as I go forward. But two things stopped me from doing that. I first found out about this because a clip was shared with Mark Lamont Hill, who's going to be one of the guests. And it was dumb.
Of course it was. Mark Lamont Hill's dumb.
But then I started watching it. And the first person to speak that he calls on, I forget their name. We're going to call her Nose Ring because that's the most outstanding quality of her. Her first couple of sentences are so goddamn stupid that I was like, nope, we're going to do this live. I don't know how, I don't know if you guys understand how impressive it is that I turned off a video game and got the show ready because of like 3 sentences of what one person said.
Wow.
It took a lot for me to be like, fuck it. I turned off. I flew my Argentavis to my base so it was safe, turned off ARC, set up the show, and here we are. Based on what this bitch says, as soon as she starts talking. So they are discussing the Sydney Sweeney thing. They have how long is this? A 38-minute discussion on Sydney Sweeney's advertisement. I skipped the first part where he's explaining the controversy. Does anybody not know the controversy? I'll give you the dollar store version real quick if you need it. She's in an ad. A whole bunch of people who are ugly and unfuckable are mad about it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And they decided it's racist because white girls in it.
Oh, it's not just racist, monkey. It's a Nazi dog whistle.
And fascist. It's fascist genes.
Oh.
Anyway, Morgan is one of the best journalists alive, which is an indictment of how far the profession has fallen. You know what? I would grant you that. There's still things I disagree with Piers on. He is way too kind to people like Pearly. But he does give people a chance to come up and discuss things, and I appreciate him for that. Most of the time, they're retards, though, so I'm not sure how much I appreciate it. I would also like to say this is on YouTube on Piers Morgan's channel. This is his show, Piers Morgan Uncensored. I recommend watching this without all of my interrupting that's about to happen. I'm not apologizing for the interrupting that's happened. That's my job, Jack. And unlike some people, I won't name, we actually do react to what is said.
Yeah, that's true.
But I go watch it in its entirety and give him some support because the rich guy needs your support. Anyway.
In turns, allow the audience to enjoy all of your insights. I'm joined by Jedediah Beeler, the host of the Jedediah Beeler Show, by the conservative influencer Deborah Lee.
This part annoyed me because I don't know either of these women.
Jedediah Beeler used to be on Fox News.
Fair enough. Oh, hey, let me fix something on my screen. You guys can't see this, but it does affect my screen. There we go.
She's kind of a moderate, like that leans conservative on some issues, but not all. So,
but
generally the role she seems to try and play.
This chick is the first chick, like, this is so-and-so from her podcast. Cool. Here's conservative influencer. I feel like you should either list the political ideology of all of them or none of them.
You have to know who the bad guys are, Monkey.
And I would give you that on
Conservative.
most other shows, but Piers isn't like that usually.
He can be. He's sort of the internet Jerry Springer right now.
Yeah, kind of. That's what he's turning
So-
into, definitely, with some of the guests he has on.
Yeah, when he has like Destiny and Hassan on, and a lot of it just turns into just shouting. And if they were in the room with each other, a chair would be flying.
I actually wish he would allow more yelling, because some of it he interrupts when there's some good stuff going on. But anyway,
academic and host of Bet News, Mark Lamont Hill.
she gets conservative influencer and he gets academic.
Yeah, they don't call him like anti-white activist, Mark Lamont Hill. No, he's just an academic.
Academic
guys.
Mark Lamont Hill.
He's super smart, yo.
What did I tell you guys about who's causing the real idiocracy in the world? Nuts. Good morning, sweetheart. Member from month number 25. Thank you, sweetie.
Hi, Stargazer.
She's been missing shows lately, and she even complained about it on Twitter the other day. You can watch them later, sweetie. It's not as much fun when you're not here, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, where are we?
And the author of Cultural Intelligence for Marketers, Dr. Anastasia Gabriel. Well, welcome.
I'd really like to know what her doctorate is in.
I mean,
Looking at it, I'm guessing women's studies. It's got something HR related. She's the one that gave us this show, the live reaction to this. I was going to react to it anyway, but she's the reason we do the live reaction, Jack. All right. Don't worry. Piers calls on her first. You'll get to see it real quick.
To all of you. Okay, let me start with you, Dr. Anastasia. What's your problem with this ad? I mean, I just saw Sydney Sweeney looking hot selling jeans.
Congratulations, Piers. You're smarter than everybody whining about this.
he's just straight.
It's not that hard. That's a very low bar to clear.
Yeah.
But I do want to give credit where credit's due. All right, strap in, people.
What memo didn't I
Piers,
get?
I would love to live in a world where more people would have the privilege to look at this ad and simply see an ad for great jeans. But that's not the world that we live in. And
You see, Jack, they can't help but see more than just a jean ad. She doesn't have the privilege to live in a world where she can see a jean ad and go, oh, look, there's a jean ad.
We can't live in that world, Monkey.
No, we don't live in that world.
Well, it's not possible.
It's not.
You
It's
have to see it.
It is impossible.
It's very impossible.
But she goes on.
live in the world that is marked with a lot of cultural baggage. So when I saw this ad as a marketer, somebody who works with agencies and brands on issues of culture and cultural relevance, I was frankly angered. And
White lady's here to save all of you minorities that are beneath her. She was angered by that ad, Jack.
As she would be. I just looked her up and found a bio on her.
What's her doctorate in?
She has a BA and PhD in cultural studies.
Of
from
course.
Piers University.
Women's studies. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Cultural studies.
Yeah. She is a cultural theorist, social critic, and devout disruptor of the status quo, known for her precision in excavating hidden narratives shaping culture. A lifelong activist, her work takes seriously the task of deconstructing the obvious and unsettling the familiar, compelling us to confront what was all too often goes unspoken.
Who wrote that shit? Is this like on her website?
Yep.
Of course it is. Frankly, I'm offended by how white she is. There could have been a black woman on this instead of her, and she decided to insert her whiteness into this.
Let me read you the next one sentence paragraph. Drawing on theory and practice, most recently leading cultural insights at Reddit.
Of course.
She advises organizations on societal shifts and consumer trends, translating what's now and what's next in culture.
Does it tell us what her doctoral thesis was on?
No. That would be too easy. Although I will try and find out.
Yeah, see if you can find this crazy bitch's doctoral. This is a woman who just told us she wishes she could watch an ad without finding something in it. And her whole job is to find shit to be mad about. She literally she's got a PhD in white woman.
In Karening.
She's like, I have to find the hidden shit that's not there so I can be mad. I didn't realize you could get a PhD in being a white woman, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
And the reason for that is that the ad is racist and
I just need a moment to breathe. The ad is racist. For argument's sake, let's say that they are saying because of her white genes, she's gorgeous. It doesn't say nobody else can be gorgeous. It doesn't say black women can't be gorgeous. Latina women can't be gorgeous. That Asian women can't be gorgeous. That they can't have good genes too, you stupid shit. She gets paid to be a Karen. Thank you, Frank. Yes, she absolutely does. That is her job, is to Karen. It's to be angry white lady and find all the things she needs to save those minorities from.
And the reason for that is that the ad is racist and eugenics coded. And
eugenics coded. Oh shit. Okay. Even among white women who are beautiful, they can look entirely different. It's not like we're like, oh, all beautiful white women look the same. No, they look very, very different from each other, just like all people do. No, nobody's saying you have to be Sydney Sweeney to be attractive. And I get it, because you're an ugly woman. You really are. It's why you do that bun thing and you're trying for the mime look. Just to try to, because you got that long, crooked nose. You have the face of a horse, and you're still doing your eyelashes like shoe on head. Ladies, stop doing that shit. It looks retarded. There was nothing in there that's eugenics at all.
She talks about genes, monkey.
Mentioning genes doesn't immediately go to eugenics, for fuck's sake.
Well, it has to piss them off, because if you start talking about genetics, you end up talking about gender at some point, and chromosomes and
Planned Parenthood is eugenics. Yeah, they never bring that up. The left, none of the people who are freaking out about Sydney Sweeney's eugenics commercial are out there pointing out that Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood, was a eugenicist. She believed in eugenics. She wanted to eradicate the Negroes.
Yeah, and she was celebrated by the Nazis for it.
I have to be clear that when I say that, I don't mean to talk about the intent of the creators behind this ad, but
okay, I found her dissertation.
What's it on?
Well, I found the title: Abolitionist Futures, Black Cultural Imagination at the End of the World. Did I lose you?
Sometimes I think my internet's being funny because I ask you a question, I hear you start to answer, and then it cuts off.
It was abolitionist futures, black cultural imagination at the end of the world.
I don't even want to know what that means.
I don't know.
Are there pro-slavery folks right now?
Maybe.
Huh. Okay. I want to talk about what this idiot just said. She said the ad is racist and eugenics coded, but she's not talking about the intent of the people who made the ad. Okay, if I'm being kind, you believe that they accidentally eugenics coded their commercial? Do you think eugenics can be accidental? It's the purposeful manipulation of genes. It's not like, okay, if you see a hot chick and you're like, ooh, I want to bang that hot chick, and you guys bang and you make beautiful little babies, that's not eugenics. That's just attraction.
Nope, you can only bang uggos. That's the rule.
Accidental eugenics. That and she's got a PhD.
Yeah, but it's not a real one.
All right.
The impact that it has on audiences, and particularly on younger audiences. And here we need to remember that the target audience of American Eagle is the most racially and ethnically diverse consumer group in the history of the United States. And
their target audience is young girls with money. And you think they were like, no, just the white ones. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. They accidentally were like just the white ones. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say if the left didn't lose their shit over this commercial, it would have already been out of the public eye. Nobody'd be talking about it.
Yeah, it probably would have already run its course.
And this is one of those things where, you know, the PewDiePie to Nazi pipeline?
Yeah.
What that real is, it's left to Nazi pipeline. And let me explain. Something happens, something innocuous, like, I don't know, a gene commercial. And then the left comes out and crazy bitches like this doctorate holder here. And they're like, oh my God, this is Nazi propaganda. And then the Nazis are like, ha ha ha, Sydney Sweeney is our queen. And she becomes labeled with that. And all of the little Nazi shitheads start being like, go Sydney Sweeney. You're the one who make those icons for him, you dumb shits.
Yeah. I think there's some enlightenment on the dedication of her dissertation that would give you a little bit of perspective.
Is it to the dad she never knew?
No, she is married though. Her maiden name is part of her website, so I'm not doxing or anything. But it's Karkleen, and it's their dedication is to her late grandparents, and it gives their names, whose moral courage in the struggle against fascism made life possible, and whose love and tenderness lives on in me. Are you getting the love and tenderness here, Monkey?
I'm feeling nothing but love and tenderness.
Yeah, I kind of want to go over this dissertation when we're done with this, because there's some fascinating stuff here.
All right, back to our crazy bitch.
Somebody who has spent a lot of time studying semiotics and the way that meaning is encoded in various forms of media and cultural artifacts, it becomes very clear to me that when we take apart this particular ad campaign, it marries certain concepts and certain words that carry cultural baggage for people. And
I want to just put what she said in a little ball so people can understand it. Gibberish. That's it. She's one of those people who thinks if she uses more words, it's going to sound smarter, and instead, it's word salad nonsense. And like, it's for people who have cultural baggage. What the fuck is cultural baggage?
It's academia speak. That's all this is. She's been in academia for probably 8 years, and that's all she knows how to communicate. So she thinks it sounds smart because in her peer group, this is how they talk. It's almost like talking in elite speak, and then going to your friends and they don't play Warcraft and talking to them like that. And they're like, what the fuck did you just say? What is a keck? You know,
right?
You are trying to communicate, but you're communicating past somebody because they don't know the linguistic references by which you're living by.
I would challenge that only slightly in that she's not actually saying anything. Because the term cultural baggage is fucking meaningless. It's some nonsense that they came up with because anytime they're challenged on their systemic racism, they lose the argument because there is no systemic racism.
Yeah, it's a deflection by creating a meaningless term.
Yeah, so
it's to us that live in the practical real world, it's meaningless. But in their realm, it's like a magic
talisman
phrase that lets them dodge something.
Yep.
They are literally using it as a defense shield against some kind of criticism. And it ends up filtering into their regular vernacular because in their world, that is a successful response. I've been around a lot of these people over the years because I was in college way too long. And I've seen this. This has been going on for decades. And unfortunately, it's sadly not new. It's just really obnoxious to deal with.
Think you dangerous. You daft bitch. Eugenics are about active moves like sterilizing and killing people over genetics. It's not about, oh, don't you know, saying parents pass on genes. Shows how useless PhDs have become. Yeah. I mean, I am not ashamed of my GED, Jack. I will put it up against this crazy bitch's PhD every day of the week.
Oh, yeah. Anytime. We grew up in a time when people didn't talk. This sort of thing was just starting, this sort of academic babble. That was really just kicking up. It's been some variation of this has been around all the way through the history of universities.
Sure.
But it's a lot worse right around like the mid to late 90s when the political correctness movement really got a good foothold in. Like they really went full bore and became activist professors in a majority, not just a couple of random Marxists.
Well, it used to be that some professor would have some silly idea that get to write a book and nobody would ever hear of it.
Yeah, they might have to like require the book to be read in their classroom, and that's about it.
Now, these people come up with their crazy ideas and it gets blasted out to everyone. Robin DiAngelo, Ibram Kendi, this fucking crazy. Mark Lamont Hill.
Yep.
Instead
they're all
of
guilty of it.
Instead of being like, oh, here's an interesting idea from a crazy person, it's like, oh my God, this is more real than the Bible.
Yeah.
And it literally does become their Bible.
Yeah, somebody like Mark Lamont Hill, I think, in my opinion, I have no evidence of this, but I think he uses his education and academia status to hide his racism.
True.
He just doesn't like white people. And he dresses that up by using phrases like cultural baggage and post-traumatic slave disorder and all these other fancy terms that only exist in academia and normal people look at and go, that's fucking retarded.
Tony says, upside, she'll never pay off her student loan. No, let me assure you, that woman is well paid.
Yeah.
She's Sarkeesian in nature. There are certain groups of these lunatics who find a way to worm themselves into corporations and stuff. That's where the whole DEI movement comes from. It starts with some stupid ass white girls who took their white girl studies, and then they're like, hey, you guys should listen to me about how you should treat the minorities, because white girls have been known for treating minorities well since the beginning of time.
Right.
And for some reason, the companies all go, give her a bunch of money to tell us how racist we are.
I believe a lot of that on this like fear of getting sued by Karens.
Oh, sure.
And then HR departments help these people advance their cause because they're acolytes of this nonsense.
And if that wasn't enough, we can go back and look to the source material for this particular campaign, which is a Calvin Klein ad from 1980 that you.
Do you have any proof that that is what they did it based on?
Oh, of course not. Don't be silly.
I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying there's nothing in the Sydney Sweeney ad that somebody couldn't come up with today on their own.
Yeah.
It's a chick in jeans talking about jeans.
They don't have to go back 50 years. They only have to go back 10 years. And they were doing commercials like these.
Yeah.
Mildly provocative ads. Remember that one from, what was it, Jack in the Box, where the chick was eating the burger? It was like Jessica Simpson or somebody. And the sauce was dripping down her cheeks all provocatively, and she's in a bikini. That's all the further they had to go back, and that was maybe 15 years ago.
You have a Cash App, my friend.
Oh, sorry, guys. My phone hasn't been giving me the alerts.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Guys, it's a good time to remind you we're brought to you by you. Give us money. I don't have a PhD. I need money.
Yeah, we got to pay bills.
I wish I could get a job with companies giving them good advice, because so many of them, they're getting all of their advice from people out of colleges, and those are retards, guys.
Yeah, stop listening to them.
Hardee's for East Coasters. Yeah, if you don't know what a Jack, or it was a Carl's Jr. apparently.
Carl's Jr. Yeah, I knew it was one of those places we don't have where I live. So they all kind of blur together after a while. Real quick though, thank you, Evil One. I much appreciate it. For how much money did Daddy pay the college for the doctorate? I suspect it was quite a bit. It was Duke University, so she's probably got like $300,000 sunk into that thing.
Uses very explicitly the same kind of rhetoric of, and even more so rather dramatically, natural selection, survival.
I must not have watched the same ads. Sydney Sweeney talked about natural selection in there?
Yeah, it was in that part with the Luftwaffe flying over.
It was in the penumbra.
Yeah,
it
was in the see, there every few minutes there was or every few seconds there was like a secret sequence thrown in there subliminally, and it was Hitler with his arm out and a bunch of subliminal messaging. That's what she's referring to. It was just buried there as a secret dog whistle. I think they just watched Triumph of the Will and are mistaking that.
I don't know what ad they were watching. Honest to God, I've seen all of them. I don't know which one even comes close to natural selection. And by the way, as a doctorate holder, are you arguing that natural selection isn't real or that it's bad?
They're arguing the Nazi eugenics version of natural selection.
That wasn't natural selection, though. That's unnatural selection.
We don't talk about that because all white people are responsible for the crimes of the Nazis, including this Sweeney lady.
Natural selection is one of the few parts of evolution that I don't argue with. It's provable. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, all right. So she saw natural selection in there.
Of the fittest, selective mating, the superiority of
selective mating with survival of the
Can I have some selective mating with Sydney Sweeney, please? I would like to be the first to sign up for that. That'd be super.
All right. Sure.
dominant groups, etc. And from a perspective of media and cultural studies, when we look at this particular campaign, we can see how meaning travels from the source of inspiration to this particular narrative structure that we see in this ad. And so it is no surprise to me that it was picked up by audiences that react.
It's no surprise because people like you exist, and your whole fucking job is to go find problems where there aren't any.
Let's glance at the panel here. Eagle One made a really good point. Or Eagle One. I conflated two names there. Look at Jedediah Bila. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's the first chick, right?
Yeah, the brown-haired one. Not the old lady on the far left. That's Piers Morgan. The one in the middle just looks a little like deer in headlights. Like, what? And Mark Lamont Hill has just got his eyes crunched together, nodding along like, yeah.
He looks angry.
He always looks angry. He is one of the most I think subdued angry people I've ever seen. Like, he always looks like that dude is about to lose his shit. I've never seen a couple times on Red Eye he was joking around and laughing and smiling. I haven't seen him do that since, and that show's been off for like 20 years.
I've seen him laugh and have a good time. I've even seen him look just blank, like you just listen to somebody and you don't have a feeling happy or sad. He looks pissed.
Well, there's a lot of white people on the panel.
He looks pissed while he's got the girl giving his talking points. This is his side that he's mad at hearing right now.
Maybe she's stealing his thunder.
Again, I haven't watched this, so I don't know if he does have any objections to what she said. The part that I did see leads me to believe that he doesn't, so we'll find out.
In the way that they did. And research shows, even though obviously Gen Z are in themselves a diverse group, they're also generally, on average, more progressive leaning and, of course, chronically online.
Says somebody that talks like they're chronically online.
What point do you think? What point is that she's trying to make?
I have no idea. She's throwing out all the contemporary buzzwords. I will be the first to say I am online a lot during the day because I get bored really easily. And I don't want to do half the shit I have to do. And with my leg being fucked up, I really can't do a lot of stuff that needs done. So I'm online all the fucking time because nobody's noticed that on X. But you have to be able to separate the internet from real life. And unfortunately, a lot of people, especially in academia, don't seem to be able to do that. Like,
this is one where we just disagree because the internet is real life for a lot of people. It's not going to the grocery store and buying food, but it's interacting with people, and it's replaced. There's some argument to be made that people are more rude than they would be normally, but to me, that's no different than people used to go to the bar. Alcohol doesn't change who you are; it just amplifies it. That's what the internet does.
I would agree with that, but the way these people perceive real life is different than how we would perceive it and how we would explain it. They're seeing it as something that's more like virtual reality. They're talking like the Matrix and Dreamscape and Dark City, whereas we're talking about like, I'm going to go online and mock some retards before I go to the store.
I've just never liked I've had this argument going back several elections now where like, that's just on Twitter. That's not real life. Like, oddly enough, real life tends to follow that because those are real people having those conversations.
But they can't admit that because it hurts their narratives. And it shows how unpopular a lot of their opinions are. That's why they have to have so much censorship.
Yes. All right.
Crazy. You mean crazy?
Anastasia, Anastasia, we haven't had you on our censor before. I didn't really understand a word of what you just said.
Oh, Piers, I can hug you. I understood some of what she just said, but a lot of it was just like you said. She's using all the buzzwords. It's like she's like, "This is my chance. I'm going to say all of the words that I've heard from Tumblr."
Yeah, unfortunately, because so much of the Tumblrites go to college now, this has filtered through to their academic speak. Like I said, it's its own language. That's why I kind of want to go over her dissertation a little bit. It's only like 4 years old. And I would like to highlight a little bit of that after we're done here, because if we have time, which we probably won't, but I'll send it to you either way.
We can check it out tomorrow if we don't get time for it tonight.
Yeah, because I think getting a glimpse into how these people think is very important for not only us as commentators, but for the audience, because these people do help set policy. Whether we like it or not, they have influence over our lives.
Eagle says, control the language and control everything. That's a very, very smart thing that you just said there, my friend. And it's
Indeed.
true.
Yeah, sadly.
Are you this much fun at parties, or?
Ouch. That was pretty witty. I'm not gonna lie.
This is why I still watch Piers Morgan, for moments like this. Go on with your bad self, Piers.
Do you have a different persona?
I would love
there?
it if you weren't disrespectful to me. It's a pleasure to join you today, and I look forward.
He's not being disrespectful. Okay, he did make a joke at your expense, but you kind of earned it.
Yeah.
But again, she's going to ask to talk to his manager any moment now.
Yeah, but to her, this is an insult because, first of all, he's a pleb and doesn't understand her brilliance. But also, he made a subtle dig, and that shows that he has a bit of intelligence, because wit takes intelligence, whether you want to admit it or not. And she doesn't like that he said something witty at her expense. So that was disrespect. I mean, he might as well whipped his dick out and smacked her on the face with it.
I'd at least laugh then at her.
To exchanging opinions. I would love to clarify any points that you might have found confusing.
Anastasia, you would have to
Deborah Lee. Let me bring Deborah Lee.
Piers, let the other chick talk. She has a question.
No.
This is a terrible example of racist white supremacy, etc. I sort of lost my thread halfway through it, but this is apparently the worst I'd ever seen. I mean, this is reborn.
The funny thing is, he's not being hyperbolic.
No, that's basically what she just said.
And bring me back.
No.
There we go. Hi. Fucking internet. It would be one thing if he said that and you know, they just like, it's got hints of not. They've literally called the ad fascist.
Well, it is fascist, Monkey. Don't you know anything?
See, this is, I think that whatever power you believe is in the universe, a God, Mother Nature, whatever it is, there's a reason they brought Idiocracy to my attention this week. Because all of this, that's a PhD holder right there, making people retarded. It's not the trailer park people who are doing that. It's the PhDs.
Well, I unfortunately have to say that when Idiocracy was made, they probably couldn't have foreseen that academia would slip so horribly into delusion and stupidity.
I would argue that Idiocracy and the people who made it are this lady on this PhD holder that they're blamed, that they could have seen this, but instead they're blaming the stupidity they were causing. This comes from Hollywood.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, no, the reason things are getting dumber is all you dumb people, not us smart people up here. It's another reason after watching it, I'm very confused by why so many people. You do realize they're making fun of you, right?
No, Brondo has the electrolytes that plants crave, Monkey.
Yeah, they weren't making fun of the people who have done this. They were. It's all you dummies out there who just don't understand how smart they are, and it'll lead to the complete collapse of things because you just won't listen to how smart they are. Anyway, sorry.
that is just crazy to me. And for people to have this reaction to this ad, when I first saw this ad, this is giving a Super Bowl, okay? This is shot very well. This is very creative for an ad agency. I don't know where that information is coming from, that they're the most diverse group and their clientele is the most diverse in the entire world, the entire country. But if that were the case, then this would be a great ad to appeal to a new base. Heterosexual, straight men who see a hot woman and they think, wow, that's great. I want to support.
Oh God, don't let women talk.
Jerry Springer, dude. Jerry Springer.
It is not a great ad because the female jean company is going to sell jeans to men, you retard. They're going to get a whole new class of clientele, Jack. Men wearing women's jeans because we haven't had enough of that for the last decade.
Well, I mean, we have seen a lot of that. So maybe Dylan Mulvaney will be the next spokesperson.
The pain that comes to me when people who are on my side speak I'd rather the pain in my spine, Jack.
Well, not everybody can be as eloquent as you are, buddy. Look, a lot of these people went to college, so it made them dumber.
If you're a man and you go out and buy these jeans and you're not buying them for your wife or your daughter or whoever, you're buying them for yourself because of that Sydney Sweeney ad, you're a retard. Okay?
Well, you're probably a closet homosexual too. So
you're a retard and you're bad with your money.
Yeah. You need a financial advisor. Get a Jewish one.
I'm even more offended that he called her a conservative now. Because now she's lumped in with folks like us, Jack. We get called conservative.
You get called a Trump supporter, anti-Trumper, a Jew, a Zionist, an anti-Semite. I don't even know where the fuck you lie anymore on the spectrum. Everybody's got a different position for you.
She took the stupid that the one before her said and went, "Hold my beer."
I still think the college level stupid kind of outranks, but I get what you're saying.
It's a great ad because it's going to make men buy women's jeans.
I think you'd be more inclined to like purchase them for your girlfriend. Would have been a better argument. Or if your girlfriend saw it and said, "Those jeans look nice," you'd be inclined to like give her the money. That would have been a better argument. But yeah, men are not the target audience here. The women are. Like, I'm going to be pretty like her.
Because men love dressing up their women to look sexy for other guys. It is not a good ad in trying to sell jeans to men. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's fucking retarded.
Are you telling me that Rakata's not the target audience here?
No. I think they sell men's jeans, which would be fine if we were talking about a men's jean ad. You're not going to... Have you ever seen women's jeans and went, "I'm going to go buy the men version of those"?
No.
This is a retarded talking point, and they should kick her off the show right now because she's not going to help.
And mom jeans would totally cut into your balls. I'm just saying.
Oh, God bless. All right. Piers, did you just grab the dumbest people you could find?
He finds volunteers, I think. Like he just randomly sends out messages like, "Want to be on my show?" And the first 4 or 5 people he just like, "All right, you're on the show."
Fuck. All right, I don't want to hit play because I don't know where this idiot's going to take this.
It's going to get worse. You know it's going to get worse. It's Internet Jerry Springer.
I'm having Tommy Lauren flashbacks. Okay.
This company. And for the record, Sydney Sweeney is a brunette. She has brown hair. So everybody's saying she's an Aryan, blonde hair, blue eyes. It's not true. Look at her roots. Look at her eyebrows. It takes 5 seconds to do a Google search of Sydney Sweeney's natural hair color. And
okay, she gets 1 point for having something right, I suppose.
Got to give credit where credit's due, man. You got to take what you could get sometimes. Look, he's trying to make all these people look like clowns.
all he did was set her up with a very valid question, and she's like, "Wait, I'm dumber than you thought."
Challenge accepted.
Well, I have my own opinions about this ad. I don't really have the palate for sexual ads as a traditional conservative. I think even if you have an issue.
I'm sorry, I got to stop you right there. I realize for my audience it might be hard to see it on our screen, but her top is cut down to here. Oh, it popped off the screen. Don't pop off the screen when I'm pointing. Damn you. Well, look at where her mic is. You can see it right over here. That is where her top comes down. I don't really have the mind for sexual ads as a conservative. Baby, if you sneeze, your nipples are popping out.
Is that going to happen? Or are you just tricking me?
As tight as that is, actually, if she sneezes, she's probably going to poop.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'd rather not see that. But if her boobies flop out, let me know.
She got them little boobies squeezed as tight as she can to show off her cleavage. And she's like, I don't really do the sexual thing. I'm conservative.
Maybe she's trying to, pull up Ashley St. Clair and find herself a rich dude.
Look, I don't have a problem with how she's dressed. But you don't then get to fall back on, I don't like the sexual ad because I'm conservative. See, this lady, she's still showing off her boobies, but her neckline is way up here behind her mic. If she said, I don't like the sexual thing because I'm conservative, at least I could believe it. This is just a hoe who's saying conservative because she knows that being a pretty woman and saying she's conservative will get people to follow her.
She probably won't have any rapists dating her.
Anyhow.
Feminists.
Issue with this, and you're saying that this is a Nazi dog whistle. As a Jewish woman, when the Nazis created ads and their propaganda, it was not using hot women who are traditionally hot to try and attract people to become Nazis. It was saying that the Jews are vermin, that we're trying to take over the world. To try and compare the two is outrageous because the left will call everything Nazism and say everybody's a Nazi, except for the actual Nazis chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free, reiterating the same talking points.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She's doing the same thing the academic did. She's trying to get in every fucking talking point. All right. Just for the record, the people chanting from the river to the sea are not Nazis. They're insane Muslims.
Well, to be fair, if they were specifically Iranians, then yeah, because Iran means Aryan in Farsi.
I just can't with this chick. All right.
You're so negative, mister.
I just really don't understand where any of this information or reaction is coming from. People have way too much time on their hands. Get a job, get a life. Stop being triggered by thin, white, hot women. Just let it be. Enjoy. You guys had Lizzo in an ad when she was 400 pounds modeling for Calvin Klein jeans. She's since lost weight because she even realized that being that size is not healthy for any individual.
She's even bringing in fat. Oh my God.
How do you find these videos? I know sometimes I send you stuff because it's funny to me, but this is just mean to do to the audience, man.
I didn't watch deep enough into it.
Yeah. We might have to give trigger warnings for some of this crap because I feel like this is almost abusive to the audience occasionally.
Common sense white woman reform, right? Jesus, my God. It's like, it was one thing if Piers said, tonight, 2 tards fight. I would tune in for that. I would still.
Yeah, but we'd be disappointed they're not full-on retards. They're not drooling and just throwing wild haymakers and stuff. Did you dip out or is that me?
I dipped out. All right.
Okay.
I wouldn't be disappointed that they weren't full-on retards because it would be these 2 women, and they're clearly full-on retards. But I would have been properly in the frame of mind for what I was about to watch.
Oh, that's fair.
I expected some tardiness because of the subject matter, because if you take the arguments that this is a fascist, racist, eugenics, Nazi dog whistle commercial seriously, you are retarded. That's, science. But I expect, as of right now, Jack, at least 3 of the 4 people on the panel are verified retards. And Mark hasn't even talked yet. I'm counting him among them because I've seen him before.
Yeah, that's fair.
My only hope for non-tardation is the chick in red. And you seem familiar with her.
Yeah,
is she going to disappoint me?
She might.
Oh, fuck. Okay. This one is way more painful than I expected it to be.
And it's clearly just targeted towards happy, straight, white women. They don't want to have these people in ads. We've had...
You don't make the argument that it's not racist by saying it's targeted to white women. It's targeted to women. I don't want to play anymore.
Every single TV show, every single advertisement has somebody who's been put in simply for being gay in the last couple of years. That's the only reason that they've been put into the storyline. And so now we just have what we would deem normal, and the left is trying to brand this as abnormal. It's not taking, and the people that are trying to push this is the reason that the Democratic Party is continuing to fail in popularity.
One thing that
Thank you, Piers. I have never been so happy for an ad break in my entire life.
Watch be an ad for Grammarly.
Here, let me be the stereotype you're trying to paint me as. This is our white woman ad. Ah, God. All right.
Guys, I think this might be the video that breaks Monkey.
I don't know what's happening right now. This is what I was talking about with the left pushing this to people who are like, that's our white champion. Nobody was saying that shit before the left started coming out and going, oh my God, it's eugenicist. And so now we got dumb white woman here going, that's our white champion. If that is what you're taking from the ads, you're retarded too, okay? Fuck.
Okay. Mark Lamont Hill. Let's look at an earlier.
Oh God, we gotta go through Mark now. Okay.
What is it that Ralph always says? The PPP quotes. Suffer bish. Seemed appropriate right here.
Oh my God.
American Eagle ad, which was in the middle of the whole Me Too campaign and stuff. Do you have any problem with the lady on the left there?
Oh my God. Okay. I get what you're going for here. That they had a woman in the, unless they were saying that Lizzo has good genes, it's not a comparison. Unless you're going to look, these are the 2 ads. Which one do you prefer? They're not in the same realm. Look, the arguments they're making are retarded, but address their retarded arguments instead of setting up this excessively large straw man here. This is a straw man argument.
Yeah. Well, it's a really big straw man. It's straw man triple XL. I mean, you got 2 straw men technically.
I have problems with them painting Lizzo as an ideal woman, as what you should be striving for. And if you want to make that argument, sure. But it's not spelled out in the ads where they're going, Lizzo has great genes. Frankly, if you were going to do a commercial like that for her, it should be Lizzo has great stitching in her jeans. Look, they haven't fallen apart. Oh my God.
Is that like aircraft cable stitching?
It's got to be, man. This is what they use to catch jets when they land on the aircraft carriers.
Right?
All right.
I got
I have a problem.
cat. I'll be listening because I just have to go across the room, but you
Sure.
won't hear me.
All right.
Problem with her? No, I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem
You're
with the
not
woman on the
offended
right.
by that image.
I'm not.
Fascinating.
No.
You do have a problem with the woman on the right.
No.
But, oh God, don't make me defend Mark Lamont Hill. They don't have a problem with, okay, I don't want to say they don't have a problem with Sydney Sweeney being in the ad, but they're concentrating on the dog whistles of she has good genes. Address that point because fuck.
Oh, hold on. Two things. One, you specifically said let's not interrupt each other, and I haven't been able to articulate one sentence yet, and I've been interrupted twice. So let's follow your own rules.
No, I want to.
I hate when people do this. If somebody is going, hey, don't interrupt me, and then they interrupt you, fine. But somebody, I don't know where Mark got, he's been interrupted twice. This is his first time speaking. So maybe there's a part before this clip, because his show is usually at least an hour long. This is only 48 minutes. But beside the point, just spit out what you want to say. Just spit it out.
No, see, he was interrupted because Piers looked at him.
I guess.
And he used the white gaze.
Hang on. I want to check this out. We're gonna go back to the beginning.
The lady on the left there?
Do I have a problem with her? No, I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem
You're
with the
not
woman on the
offended
right.
by that image.
I'm not.
Fascinating.
See, there was twice.
Technically, he interrupts there, but Mark Lamont Hill asked a question, and Piers was answering it in the one because do I have a problem with it? Yeah, that's what I'm asking you, dumbass.
You guys, you hear Monkey white splaining?
I am. I'm trying at least. I guess there were two little interruptions there, and then he clarifies what.
Clarification is not justification, Monkey. It's actually like covert racism or something.
There it is.
There you are.
You had already answered the question that he asked you. So what you're bitching about basically is that you didn't get to go on a monologue.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's where we are in especially social media argumentation. Like if you get answered or asked a question, you get to answer 900 things that have nothing to do with it, as we just saw a white lady do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The academic before her. Unfortunately, we've gotten way too casual in our pseudo debate structure on shows like this. So they don't even abide by any rules of decorum. They just interrupt each other all the time, and there's no real moderation.
Well, Piers was or defining his point still. So while technically it was interrupted because Mark just wanted to keep talking.
Yeah, it was interrupted for clarification, I would argue.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that kind. It's not like Piers was like, "No, dumb fuck, you shut up. I'm going to talk over you."
That I would have respected that more.
So would I. But I don't have a problem with interruption and stuff. I know some people do, but it should still be relevant to what's being talked about. And Piers clarifying his point, he was clearly setting you up for a point there, Mark. But for Mark to then be like, "You interrupted me twice already over that, you little bitch."
Well, he is a male feminist, so
fuck.
No,
you do have a problem with the woman on the right.
No. Hold on. Two things. One, you specifically said let's not interrupt each other, and I haven't been able to articulate one sentence yet, and I've been interrupted twice. So let's follow.
You actually did. Your first sentence was, "Do I have a problem with the one on the left?" No, that's two sentences before he jumped in there.
Oh, stop supporting Piers' racism, Monkey.
Look, I expect better from my academics.
Well,
the guy with the GED shouldn't be able to point out how the academic got it wrong.
you're going to be very disappointed in life, my friend.
And this is just, I've seen Mark do this before. It's a way to try to beat down the person that's talking to him so they don't dare interrupt his massively overproducing brain.
Yeah, he's just too smart for you. And sometimes when he doesn't get his way and people don't fall for it, he just calls them racist.
Your own rules.
Or implies
No,
it.
I'm not
Or what?
Implies it.
Oh, yeah.
offended by the woman on the
said.
left. Let me complete the sentence. I am not offended by the woman on the left, nor am I offended by the woman on the right. The aha that you're going for isn't there because I'm saying I am not offended by either woman. But I am, please, I'm asking respectfully, allow me to finish a thought. Two people have spoken.
All he said was got it. He was affirming he understood.
Yeah, it didn't even, that was a side comment you didn't need to address or pause for. He just said, yeah, good, got it. The entire extent of that last exchange. But how dare you interrupt the intellectual Mark Lamont Hill? How dare you, sir?
Uninterrupted for 3 minutes. I haven't gotten 10 seconds out. What I'm saying is that the problem is not.
For the record, Piers said at the beginning of this that that he's not in his home studio and that there's a slight delay with them.
Yep.
So keep that in mind and Mark Lamont Hill was there when he said it. So keep that in mind when he keeps going, stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Just talk, motherfucker.
Well, and that's the thing. We get delays all the time. So we deal with this constantly.
Yeah.
He didn't recognize the fact that he took a breath and paused in his own diatribe, which would have been on Pierce's end, an opening to say good. And because he hadn't continued yet.
The delay is noticeable, especially for you and me, because like you said, we deal with this shit all the time. That delay is minor. It's just enough to make it sound like Piers is stepping on what he's saying.
Yeah, but he's not saying enough to actually step on it. You can still understand what's being said.
Either woman. The problem is how we're narrating the commercial. That's what people are concerned about. Several things have been said that I'd like to respond to in direct.
Yeah, do you see what you just did there? You gave him a win because you set up a fat straw lady. I hate when people are on my side and retarded. Because what Mark just said there is correct. Their issue that her being white and blonde is related to the wording in the ad. Again, it's a stupid argument they're making. But when you try to frame it, but you don't have a problem with Lizzo? You at least need to make the connection because there's not an obvious one there.
Response to what you're asking me, Piers. The first thing, and I'm glad the last woman who spoke mentioned that she's Jewish because I think that's really important. Historically,
I'm going to go way out on a limb and saying her being Jewish is not important at all.
No, but this is an identity politician. So,
yep. You being your white lady's Jewish, we can give her a little more credit. Anyway.
There have been lots of anti-Semitic images, narratives, tropes that are used that non-Jews don't see. And many times somebody will.
It's important that you're Jewish and you don't see this because there's a lot of anti-Semitism that only Jews see. Did I follow that?
Totally real. Yeah.
Did I follow that logic correctly?
I guess.
Is he smoking crack? No, he'd be making more sense if he was. All right. What the fuck? Okay, I'm glad you're Jewish because there's
say, oh, wait a minute, they showed that person playing into the cabal narrative. They showed this person as a rodent, or they showed this person with changing their name to this or that. And the average person may not intend to be anti-Semitic, although some people are anti-Semitic, but it's still there and Jews recognize it. So I don't want to presume that because
when somebody puts a character that's a rat in something and they're clearly Jewish, we can't find the anti-Semitism in that.
No, it's not possible because we're not Jewish. I haven't gone to temple in a really long time, so yeah, my Jew card doesn't exist. Also, I wasn't born Jewish, so I may not have the genetics to comprehend the subtle dog whistles and signs that only the Jews can detect. This is some racist dog whistling, man. I hate to say it that way, but he just said Jews see things that other people can't.
Yes. Blue-Eyed said, Monkey, stop interrupting him. No. I have no respect for him. I'd be interrupting him on purpose if we were talking to each other. I would have had to cut in every time I've done, as you guys have seen, for the stupid shit he was saying.
Yeah, we don't just do this normally, guys. If you've seen us talk to people, we do this shit all the time. Like, wait.
This is why Piers won't invite us on the show, Jack.
Probably. He probably saw your Hunter Avalon talk and was like, no, he's mean.
All right. Mark has, okay.
A white person doesn't see it, that means that it can't be racist. Or if a black person doesn't see you know what I'm saying? We have to think about this on all levels from multiple audiences. You used the word normal and talked about it in the context of this white woman. White women are normal, but so are other people.
Nobody said other people aren't normal, Mark.
Well, it's racial politics again. Some people, if you're an ethnic group, you can see a different visual spectrum and interpret things than a different ethnic group. That's what I got out of this. That's how I understood what he was saying.
Sure.
Problem is, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies, white male bodies, the norm. And we've made everything else less human, less beautiful, less real. And
no.
They just showed the Lizzo ad.
Yeah. There may have been a time where that was true. But Jack, as somebody who doesn't watch television very often, when I do watch it and catch ads, or even the episodes themselves, it is amazing to me how forced diversity seems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And when was the last time that you saw a majority of ads play and there wasn't a diverse cast of some kind? Where it was predominantly white.
When I have seen commercials, I have not seen a commercial with a white family in probably a decade. I saw one, this is true, the other day when I was on vacation down at my father-in-law's house. There was a commercial with a family. They had a white dad, a black mom, and 2 little Asian children.
Wow, that's a lot going on right there.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like somebody doesn't understand how genetics does work, or mom's kind of a whore.
Or they kidnapped those children or bought them.
They went Angelina Jolie and bought some Asian kids.
Yeah. Usually there's the black dad, the white mom, and the
no
kid.
Nope. On TV, it's always a white or a black mom. You don't see the white man with the black or the black man with a white woman on TV very much. And it is not because of racist white people. It's because of racist black people. Black people are far more willing to accept a black woman with a white man than they are a black man with a white woman. Anyhow.
So when we say good genes are the ones that...
load of crap. Honestly.
Okay, now that part is the clip that I saw over on Twitter, but he's right. It's a load of crap. And again, this is why I watch Piers.
I'm sorry, Mark. If I may jump in on my own show, what a load of crap. I saw Beyonce do a jeans ad. Everybody drooled over it. I loved it. Thought she looked...
Oh, God, Piers, you're missing... again, unless it has that good gene stuff, it's not applicable here, man. Now, if you're pointing just to what Mark said there at the end, I'll give you some grace on that one, because he did the way we only promote white as normal. That is nonsense.
Yeah,
so I'll give him a
bullshit.
Yeah. In fairness, he's now beating the straw man that the dipshit said. So I shouldn't have interrupted him there. That's on me.
Looked hot when she did, right? I mean, what are you talking about, man? This is. Let me ask you a straight question. Let me ask you a straight question. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No, I don't think she has bad genes.
Does she have good genes? Does she have good genes?
No. Again, you're trying for.
Okay, look. You can, if you find Sydney Sweeney unattractive, misshapen, and you say, I don't think she has good genes, cool. But you can't say that they're promoting her as the thing of beauty and say you don't think she's beautiful. That's the normal. Because what you're arguing is that they put an ugly woman up there as the unattainable goal that you should be striving for. Get what I'm saying? Those two, they can't exist in the same universe. I don't know if Sydney Sweeney has good genes. When it comes to her appearance, she has okay genes. She's pretty enough with enough makeup on. I haven't seen her without her makeup, Jack, so I can't say that. But for all I know, she has a heart condition passed down. In which case, no, she wouldn't have good genes. But if you're just going on the aesthetics of it, yeah, she has good genes. Stop it. Stop it.
These gotchas, if you
so
just
she doesn't
listen.
have good or bad genes.
The whole point is to argue that good and bad genes itself is a bad idea. It's a racist
Why can't
idea.
you have?
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Monkey.
People with Down syndrome don't have bad genes.
Oh, well, that's news to them. I'm sure they'll be glad to know that.
I'm happy to know being born with asthma is not a sign of my bad genes.
Yeah, cerebral palsy or spina bifida, scoliosis.
There are such a thing as bad genes.
Hunchback.
Now what I want is a gene company to have who's the most popular Downsy out there? I know there's some Downsies that have been in Corky. Bring Corky on. Be like, Corky has good genes.
And have like the pants, like one leg is clearly shorter than the other. Everybody has good genes.
Good genes, Mark.
Why is it racist?
Why can't you have good genes?
All right, I'm going to respond, and I'm going to hope that you don't interrupt me as I answer. Okay? Because again, no one else has been interrupted except the people who disagree with you. What I'm saying is,
Stop being so precious,
the word you listen. The word eugenics literally means good genes. It literally means that etymologically. The point here is to judge human beings based on their genes and to decide that you have good genes and you have bad genes isn't in and of itself a.
And if I see an ugly fucking white person and I say, "Oh, you have bad genes," I'm being racist?
Yeah, clearly. Bigot.
So when I look at Rosie O'Donnell and think, God damn, her parents should never have combined those sets of DNA to make that, I'm being racist?
Also inbreeding. I guess they don't have bad genes because you don't want to be a racist, do you, Monkey?
This is the nonsense that they pull because they're apparently Sydney Sweeney is all white people, but she's not. There are very, very ugly white people out there. We've seen many of them on this show, Jack.
Oh yeah, we've seen lots of ugly people.
There's an ugly white woman at the far right there.
Yeah. Well, she's Got a lot of makeup on too. So
that bitch came from mimes, and that can't be good. But this is the conflation that they make, is that, oh, you're saying white jeans are good. No. I if you want, Mark, you and me can sit down and just go through a whole bunch of pictures of white people, and I'll point out all the fucking ugly ones.
He'd still imply that you're somehow racist for it. I don't know.
I'm racist for pointing out the ugly white folk.
Yes.
Like when I look at Rachel Levine and my dick shrivels up, I'm being racist.
Yep. And transphobic.
And transphobic. When I look at Kathy Griffin and my dick tries running out my butt, that's racism, right?
Yes.
Point. So no, it's not that I think that I have good genes and you can't say anyone else has good genes. I'm saying let's get rid of the good genes narrative, particularly.
Mark, you have good genes. You're a good-looking black man. You have a strong jaw. You what the fuck are you talking about? I have some good genes, Jack. They show up in my face, which you can see from a mile away because I have bad genes in the size of my head.
I think that probably goes for most people, though.
But this mother, he gonna sit here and pretend like, no, I don't have good genes. I almost dropped the N-bomb. Bitch, please. But he's dumb monkey. I didn't say he was smart. I just said he's a decent looking man. He could have had a career in Hollywood. Anyway.
When it's based on hair and eyes and body type.
Fuck, that you want good genes? You still have a hairline that starts at your forehead and not halfway back. That is a gene thing.
Now you're just picking on the cord ring.
Oh my God.
Because those things
alone.
Thank you, Ebony. I can't read that, but yes, ma'am, exactly. Oh,
racially coded. In other words, if I say that straight hair is good genes or blonde hair is good genes, and no, I'm not after watching an ad Googling someone to figure out their natural roots. You'd be shocked to know how many people don't do that.
You don't have
Yet
to.
You're arguing the blonde, blue-eyed narrative.
Yeah, you don't have to Google whether she has natural hair. I mean, the moron in the middle there, she pointed out you can look at the roots and eyebrows. You don't need Google for that.
Yeah, hate in your heart.
Again, they're operating from the perspective that by saying she has good genes, you are saying nobody, only blonde-haired, bottle blonde hair, blue-eyed women are good genes. Nobody has said that. Nobody has come close to saying that. Okay. Maybe not nobody, because I'm sure whatever happened to the folks from the Daily Stormer, they're out there saying that right now as they bang Asian women. But
I feel judged for some reason.
You can have very straight hair and it can be very pretty, or you can have very straight hair and look like the chick that played Deb on Dexter, where it's not attractive laying down like that. It works for some people and not others. This is what makes this argument so retarded. And the easiest answer to it is, but it's not saying only that is good. There's other good genes out there.
If I'm doing these things and I see your eye color and your hair as a sign of your good genes, then that means someone who has a different hair or eye color doesn't have good genes. And if you
I just need to I said earlier Mark Lamont Hill has good genes. If you're not a black man with a good hairline, I'm not saying you're ugly. Apparently I need to clarify that.
You said you're busted. You have busted hairline.
Apparently if you're not a black man, I think you have bad genes.
I don't know.
Fuck, I just looked at my arm. I'm not a black man.
Oh my God, you monster.
I hate myself now.
Yeah, look at you with your inferior genetics.
God damn, man.
last thing I'll say is if you look historically at ads. At
It doesn't though, does it? All right, calm down. Calm down. It doesn't actually mean that.
No.
Hang on. No, I will speak on my own show. So just calm down.
I'm asking you not to be condescending.
Stop being so precious. My instruction about shouting was between the four of you, not me. It's my show. I do what I like.
Yes, I don't care.
There you go, Piers. The same rules apply here. I'm happy to have Jack speak, but if I want to be the one speaking, I promise you I will be.
Yeah, I mean, that's not unreasonable either. It is your show.
And when you're making an argument like this and you're coming onto a show to defend your argument, you should be able to without whining, oh my God, you interrupted me. You interrupted me.
Yeah, there's more mature ways of dealing with that, because if you do it right, you can make the host look stupid, but sitting there whining about it is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Just look like an asshole.
And my point is this.
If you interrupt me in the first minute, it's bad form. I'm saying that if you let the guest who agreed with you talk for 3 minutes, then don't allow me to talk for more than 1 second. You literally didn't let me finish.
He let the other lady who disagreed with him talk for about 3 minutes too. Maybe he just doesn't like black men.
Oh my God.
You have literally done more talking than all 3 other guests put together, multiple
that is not
by
true.
2 or 3. So
let's see. He starts talking about here. That's 10 minutes in, so he's got to talk for about 4 minutes, barely interrupted. That chick got a minute, and this chick got about 4 minutes. So Piers might be wrong on the total there. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's not true, but my issue with you interrupting was not at this point. It was at the first 10 seconds.
I love that he keeps
my
calling
point
him
was
precious.
just to interrupt me in the first 10 seconds.
What?
So
Can you
much I've
calm
spoken now is
down?
irrelevant.
He didn't interrupt you in the first 10 seconds. You answered his question, so he continued with questioning, you dumbass. This isn't the come on and monologue show. And yeah, it's kind of Pierce's fault for allowing the other 2 to just monologue. But you're just making yourself look dumb, Mark. You're making yourself look angry for no reason.
I'm not angry. I'm talking over you.
You're talking over him because you're not angry.
Yeah, I'd hate to see it if he was angry.
No shit.
Right.
Can I jump in
I
here,
have
Piers?
blue eyes. Right. I also have good genes, particularly on my mother's side, because my skin is surprisingly good for a person of my age, because my mother's side all had good skin. You got a problem with that?
I do. I don't think you have good skin.
I mean, I don't know how much makeup he has on, but for his age, he actually looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I have very good skin, Jack. I can probably count on both hands how many zits I've had in my entire life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't get zits. Now, my older brother, he looked like he'd been burned.
Ooh.
Yeah, he had really bad acne in his teen years. And I just never got it. I had better genes in that department.
Mark?
Is that for me?
You got a problem with that? Yes. If I say I've got good genes from my mother because I have good skin and I've got blue eyes, so what?
So what color eyes are what color eyes are bad genes? If someone has,
for the record, eye color doesn't make good or bad genes, because I've seen some people with every color of eye, and they all come in ugly too. Yeah,
there's plenty of uggos with like mixed genes, mixed results. That's got nothing to do with anything. What the fuck is he talking about?
There's a woman out there, and I don't know her name. I've just seen pictures. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer, when she first comes on the scene, when she's young, and those fucking brilliant blue eyes just pop out at you.
Yeah.
It's very easy to go, oh, she's so pretty because of those eyes. The eyes aren't what made her pretty, because there's a woman with those same eyes who looks like me. And yeah, the eyes don't save it. I'm just saying. Like, she has nice eyes as long as you don't look at anything else, just the iris and the pupil. That's it. Not even the eyelids. Don't look that far. Anyway,
bad genes, what would their hair or skin look like?
I don't think any are bad. I didn't see anybody from American Eagle saying that anybody else is.
No one said anything.
No one from American. Just to be clear, hang on.
But this is finally the point that needs to be made. Nobody's saying other genes are bad. Well, you and I are, Jack, because we're being honest about it. But there are some bad genes out there. But they weren't saying if you don't have her genes, you have bad genes.
Nobody from American Eagle was making any comparison. Nobody said somebody else's eye color or skin color was wrong or bad or anything negative. All they said in an amusing pun is that Sydney Sweeney has good genes and is wearing great jeans. That's it. There was no negative about anybody else.
Don't interrupt, Mark. Don't interrupt.
Oh, Mark's interrupting again.
And here's why I disagree with that. Because if I were to stand on here and say, oh, she's from a good background, she's Gentile, then we would all say, well, wait a minute. I didn't compare to anybody else. No.
Why was his first impulse to go to like the Jews and Gentiles?
As a liberal, I wonder.
Yeah, that seems like an odd example to throw out there right now. I don't know. Maybe that's me.
I want to see where he's trying to take this.
She's Gentile. Then we would all say, well, wait a minute. I didn't compare to anybody else. No, by saying that Gentile is the good background, I would be implicitly saying that the others are not.
No, that's not, you're inferring that, but that is not what is implied. And those are different things. All that implies is that Gentile is a good background. It doesn't mean that you can't have any other good backgrounds.
I find this stupid.
It's the same argument they're making with the Sweeney ad, though.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're saying she has good genes, therefore you're implying that nobody implied that. You inferred it because you're a retard. Because you've been to university, because you're an academic.
Say I have a good body, I'm skinny, then I'm saying that other bodies are not good. It's an
if you say I have a good body because I'm skinny, I mean, again, without saying that this is the only good body, it's not what you think it is. This is your baggage, not mine. And it's what we got from the white lady at the end. It's what Mark is giving us now. It's that if you're excluding me, nobody excluded you. Nobody excluded.
They did include them, ergo they are excluded.
That's how they're reading it, but that's not how reality works.
Oh, these people don't function in reality. Where have you been?
This is like saying, hey, cake is a good pastry. You hate brownies? Like, no, I'll eat the fuck out of a brownie.
Monkey hates brownies.
So you hate cannolis or whatever other fucking pastry you got? I wish I could be on the show and get an answer from something like that from Mark.
Implicit comparison, but it's not out of context. Historically, in this country and in the West, we've always said that white bodies are more beautiful. So
Wait, are you telling me that in a majority white region, they're going to find white bodies more beautiful? Well, that's weird.
One, that what he just said isn't even true. If you want to go back to maybe slavery times, I suppose. But we've held up black beauty figures since at least the 20s.
Yeah. He's not going to allow that to fly.
Sorry, thank you, Dangerous. The etymology of eugenics is derived from the Greek word eugenes, which means good in birth or good in stock. Weirdly, genetics are not part of the etymology of the word from 1883, moron. In fairness, I think you could give them good in birth and good in stock is close enough to good in genes. I get what you're getting at. He is an academic and he should be much more clear in what he says. Because how dare he float that academic shit and then be such a fucking retard on TV.
Well, I mean, here we are.
It's not like we're coming out of nowhere here. This is at Zeus's head. We're starting from a place where we've already presumed white
Mark,
superiority.
we have spent.
Did Mark Lamont Hill just tell me he thinks whites are superior?
I mean, he does seem to believe that because he harps on that quite a bit.
He said we're coming from a place where we agree whites are superior. I didn't say that.
Nobody said that. He has, like a lot of people that we see come out of academia, some sort of imposter syndrome feeling that, because he is a very smart guy. I just disagree with everything he says. But he isn't stupid per se. He has stupid ideas, but that doesn't make him stupid. But he has some sort of inferiority complex that tends to dip in and out on a lot of this stuff. So that wouldn't surprise me if that was poking its head up.
I think he probably has a high IQ, but he's not smart. And
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think he's very good at some book learning, and he doesn't put any actual thought into it or logic into it past that.
Yeah, he can't apply it to anything.
No.
The
There are so many different examples where you can give, where like my pastry one, that just blows away everything he just said. And this is a college educated man, an academic, as we were told at the beginning of the show, and he can't apply it to simple life. No. White lady beside me told me that it's a racist ad and there was racism in the past. So clearly this is a racist ad.
Yeah. 1 + 1 = potato.
Yeah. Careful. You can get a DM from JF Garrity.
Yeah, you have potatoes? I wish to purchase some of your potatoes.
They find his wife's body yet?
Nope.
Damn.
10 years.
All right, Jenna.
Do you think he ate her? Intelligence is empty virtues. Everything, subjectively wrong. What?
I just got cut off there, and I feel bad because they're finally letting the lady in red speak, and that's where my internet was like, "No, shut this bitch up." Okay, I'm sorry. Were you saying something when I stepped in there? I'm sorry.
I was just speculating as to whether or not JF may have eaten his ex-wife.
Probably not. I think he probably fed her to something else.
Well, he's French, so
We have spent.
If he was Irish, maybe he'd eat potato, but he's French, so he fucks him.
Oh yeah, good call.
The last 10 years.
All right, Jedediah.
The last 10 years, if you look at campaigns, we have done how many segments on television about the elevation of obesity? You see people who are massive that now we're saying it's a good thing, right? It's great. Let's celebrate everyone who's unhealthy and obese. If this ad was an African American, if this ad was a Hispanic girl, no one would be saying a peep. Frankly, I think if this ad was
I disagree. I do think that the Groypers would be complaining, but otherwise, point taken.
Yeah, but nobody listens to those ass clowns.
Unfortunately, way too many still.
Do we have to admit to that? Monkey's internet hates us. Jeff planted her in a field. Yeah, probably.
The internet really doesn't want this bitch to be heard. I almost feel bad.
Well, she's kind of shrill, so I get it.
Would be saying a peep. Frankly, I think if this ad was a white girl like me with brown hair, brown eyes, I got a little Spanish in me, I got a little Italian in me, I'm Sicilian, I got some African in me, I don't think anyone would be saying anything either. This is utterly ridiculous. The only people who are offended by this ad are people who choose to be offended by everything. Either you choose to see racism in everything, or you choose to see sexism or misogyny. I noticed that a whole lot of women online were mad about this ad because they were jealous. It was so obvious. Now.
How dare you suggest those fat, buck-tooth, ugly bitches were just jealous? They have good genes too, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying that this woman.
Dangerous. Thank you. We're missing the context. There is no extra context. You can't even point to a history of racism or Nazism from the company. The context is what people like Mark forcing upon the ad. Well, it's the context they're trying to force on the ad by. I mean, the white lady we saw at the beginning, she even says, I don't see intent. Well, if there's not the intent, then it's not what you're saying it's doing. Now, people can take that away from it. If Mark Lamont Hill wants to look at that ad and go, they're saying I got bad genes, he can do that, but that's entirely on him. It's entirely on him. That's not on the people who made the ad. It's not on Sydney Sweeney. It's not on people like me who are going, you're fucking retarded, Mark. It's him.
How dare you?
I know, right? When it comes to retardation, he has bad genes.
He has an extra chromosome.
Yeah.
Hence the body positivity campaign because she's skinny. So let's just say the truth. Sydney Sweeney is a sex symbol. She is a young, hot woman. She is objectively attractive. That is all this ad was about. Now, why has the stock skyrocketed for this company? The reason this ad has done so well is, yes, because it creates controversy and we all talk about it and we debate, and American Eagle is very smart and they knew that, but also because there is a growing segment of the population just like me that is saying that is so tired of walking on eggshells to cater to people like Mark's sensitivities. Frankly, I don't care if you're offended. You could.
Truth in that, Jack?
I think there is some people that are praising this ad just as pushback. It's almost a return to normalcy that we haven't had in a while, and it's nice to see attractive people in ads occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, I get the people who are like, wow, there's a white chick in this ad, because it is rare to see these days.
Yeah. I think there are some people that are glad to see somebody they recognize too, because she is a very hot property in Hollywood.
Yeah. And she's known for her boobies.
Yeah. She's known for being attractive. It's kind of like the Kardashians being famous for being famous, you know?
Yeah. Did you see the Atlantic article where the writer was like, this ad is telling people it's okay to like boobs?
I think I sent you that.
He actually wrote that. Like,
yeah.
Wait, it's not okay to like boobs?
I was like, the fuck is wrong with these? These are damaged people, severely damaged people. Whether it was done by the education system or Uncle Bad Touch, I don't know. But there are a lot of really damaged people in positions that shouldn't be there.
Eagle says, I didn't know who Sweeney was. We've talked about Sweeney before because she got a lot of attention, 2 years ago, I think, because she was unashamed of her big old titties.
They were using her as some sort of like meme expression, like they put her in place of some famous person's quote.
Yeah.
Put an ad out and offend this person over here or that person over there. Everyone is always going to get offended by something. Who cares? Here's the bottom line. Stop getting so offended.
You're not offended at a racist, fascist, Nazi ad?
Oh my God, listen to the racism from the Italian woman. Ugh.
No, wait. He has just claimed that this is a pro-eugenics ad and he's not offended at it. I would be offended at this ad if I thought it was pro-eugenics because eugenics is fucking gross.
It is gross, but you have to remember that a lot of these people really like Planned Parenthood. So
now this is some internet bullshit that people want to do when they're mad and be like, I'm not mad. Yes, you are. Just admit it. It's okay to be mad about things. If this was a racist Nazi ad, I would be mad. I would be offended that it's out there. It would offend my sensibilities. But he's like, oh, it's a racist ad. I'm cool with it. Bro fist. You guys couldn't see that. I did it in my room. You can't see me. Bro fist. Why wouldn't you be offended at that? Oh, fuck.
You see everything through the lens of race. That's your problem. That's not Sydney Sweeney's problem.
True.
That's not American Eagle's problem. If you see everything through the lens of misogyny, it's.
I have to take a moment here, Jack, and appreciate that sometimes white women don't just say stupid shit. Because she's spot on right here. She's literally saying what I said just a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Look how mad Mark is. He looks very unhappy
Jack,
right now.
he's not mad. He's told us that repeatedly. He's not mad, and he's not offended.
Maybe he's watching the ad and he's like, don't get a boner. Don't get a boner on TV.
Yeah, that is definitely the face of somebody who's not mad.
The same conversation over and over again.
Yeah, you know what? Don't all talk at once. Don't all talk at once. No, I'm going to come to Anastasia. Anastasia, here's the problem.
No, Piers. Oh, God damn it, Piers.
No. It's just the way it is, monkey. Acceptance.
It's okay to let them talk to each other.
Nah.
So now I'm just going to assume he's going to take it somewhere that doesn't matter, but let's find out.
The Democrats have just polled at record lows, right? They are incredibly unpopular. And I can tell you one of the reasons why. It's things like this. The reason Donald Trump got reelected is partly the economy, partly immigration, but also partly the culture wars, which the liberal left, the woke left, tried so dementedly to fuel and fire for so.
What's odd, if you're paying attention to politics right now, it looked for a little bit, Jack, like they were gonna pull back a little bit, and instead they're not even rebranding shit. They're just like, fuck it, full steam ahead.
Yeah, they're not even doubling down. They passed like quadruple down a while ago.
Yeah, they're not even contemplating the idea that culture war had anything to do with it. In fact, they're telling themselves that the problem is they didn't go far enough.
Yeah, and they didn't dumb it down enough for the dum-dums.
Many years behaving like a bunch of insane fascists. And it comes down to stuff like this, where most people watch this ad and see it for what it is. A harmless ad with a hot actress selling jeans.
Yep.
But in the prism of the woke left, which I assume you would identify as, but correct me if I'm wrong, you look at it and see it as an obvious example of Nazism, eugenics, white supremacy, and you hate it. And
if that's Nazism, I need to rethink my politics a little bit.
I know, right? Like, I don't think, unless you watched a lot of like exploitation films in the 70s, like Elsa the Wicked Warden and Werewolf Women of the SS or shit like that, you did not see Nazis propagating stuff that looked like Sydney Sweeney. It wasn't happening.
Despise it, and anyone who likes it must be cancelled. And that's the problem.
You know, they talk a lot about her eyes. I'm going to say this. I don't like Sydney Sweeney's eyes. They're a little bit weird. Especially from this angle. She doesn't have the bedroom eyes they're trying for here.
No, she looks like, who's that one actress? Not Dakota Fanning, but there was an actress around at the same time Dakota Fanning got really big when she was like 18, 19, that has that same facial structure.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. It's not my preference. But I do find Sydney Sweeney attractive, but she's not the hottest woman I've ever seen by any stretch. I find her more attractive because she triggers all these people, but she's like an 8.
Did Monkey wish Claire happy birthday? I didn't see Claire had a birthday. Claire,
what?
This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Claire. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Really do. Who's the chick that was in Madam Web?
I don't know.
The chick from the 50 Shades of Grey movies.
I am actively trying to forget that movie exists. Amanda Seyfried. Yeah, thank you, D-Ball Money.
She has the same eyes as the chick that was in Madam Web in those. Not her whole face, just her eyes. And yeah, they don't look good. Anyway.
With the woke left. That's why nobody wants to vote for anyone who identifies with the woke.
Go ahead.
That was Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson, that's it. Yeah.
Left. That's why Trump won. And no one on the left, in the woke left, seems to understand that it's exactly this kind of thing that is the.
And there's a reason for that. It's because they are literally taught to be like this. This is what we're trying, not us specifically, but society has been trying to force on young people. This is the Anita Sarkeesian. Everything's sexist, everything's racist, everything's homophobic, and you have to point it all out. It's literally what they're taught. So when they run against anything that is counter to that, I mean, notice that the two people that are on the side of this ad is racist are the two who make sure we know that they're academics. She's a doctor.
I got a PhD. Kevin Samuels will always be in my head when I hear someone say they have a PhD.
Yeah. Nobody cares, Sean. But it's the two academics who are on that side, and that's not on accident. It's because they've been through the indoctrination facility, and it took.
Yeah.
The retard in the middle, I have no excuse for. I don't know what the fuck her problem is.
She's happy to be there.
That nobody wants to vote for. TV. Over to you.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, and I think that kind of strong narratives between, woke left, kind of hijacking everything, is part of a narrative of.
Have you noticed her accent comes and goes?
It's not as thick as she wants to play up. I think that she's been in America long enough that her accent started to go, and she is just trying her best to keep it because it sounds exotic and smarter because it's all European or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know where's she from? Did you happen to catch that on her?
I don't know. I didn't look at that part. I was busy. She's kind of sounding Nazi-ish over here. She does sound very Eastern European. Maybe she sounds like she could have been on Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing.
Woke left, kind of hijacking everything, is part of a narrative of labeling people and not allowing nuance and context of what is actually happening here. So I'm not really.
I get tired of the you don't get to hide behind, oh, you're just trying to shut me up by using labels. He didn't do that. He's pointing out that the shit that you guys do, whether you want to call it the woke left or not, is causing you political problems. And frankly, I wish you'd shut the fuck up, because the more you do that, the more you lose. And I want you to lose badly.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a given.
But this is almost what Mark was doing with stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me.
You're hurting my feelings.
Let's not address the point. Let's pick. Oh, you said woke left. Therefore, you're just trying to dismiss it. He's made arguments. Address the arguments, for fuck's sake.
Interested in being inflammatory around the subject. Neither do I think that this particular campaign is a propaganda campaign for eugenics. But I am interested in thinking about the power.
You said it was eugenics coded.
That was like 5 minutes ago, Monkey. We're in the now.
Oh, that's right. That's the left's thing right now. We can't do anything in history.
Yeah. History is not a linear line. It's a circle.
Son of a bitch. Guys, brought to you by you. You know the drill. Give me money. If I sound sad enough from watching this, you think donations will go up?
I hope so, because dear God, we should be getting paid for this. This is painful. Yeah, please, guys, we're poor. If you have $5, is that pathetic enough? I don't know how this works. We're bad at shilling.
We are horrible at shilling. I actually am taking some Motrin because my head does hurt, but it's because of my back, Jack.
Yeah, I took some earlier because of my knee, and that might be the only reason I'm not crying right now.
Oh. I can't deal with both pains. All right, here we go.
Of media and representation in our culture, and what it means for somebody who engages with this ad who doesn't look like me. And as a marketer, I know that
you don't look like Sydney Sweeney.
Not by a long shot, honey.
You have neither fake blonde hair nor blue eyes. And I'm only guessing because it's hard to tell, but I don't think you have very big boobs.
From the pictures I've seen, I don't think she does either, no.
You're, by your own argument, you have bad genes based on that commercial. Why are you including yourself? Oh, it's the white skin, right?
Maybe.
actually it is American Eagle's problem that is a reaction of their customer base, which is.
I'm going to go way out on a limb and say most of the people whining you this don't buy their jeans at American Eagle. I don't know what.
And he's gone. Monkey, come back.
Sorry.
There he is.
I'm glad to see American Eagle hasn't apologized for this ad.
Yeah, why would they? They're making a mint off of the entire conversation. The more people talk about this, it's been going on for what, a couple days now. Their stock price is going up, sales are going up, controversies bringing people into their stores.
Mm-hmm. And even more than that, you have a shit ton of young, impressionable girls who want to look good, hearing that the Sydney Sweeney jeans will make you look good. They're getting so much free advertising out of this. And I hope other advertisers pay attention. I really do. Or other companies, not the advertising agencies. Fuck those guys. I hope other companies pay attention. I hope Bud Light, the next time we see a fucking ad from them, some big tittied lady in a American flag bikini with an eagle flying over.
And no penis.
No penis around.
Is younger people and particularly younger girls. And as a marketer, I know it's a responsibility of the brand to understand their audience, to understand their worldview, the way that they.
No, that's not an advertiser's job. An advertiser's job is to sell things to people. Whether it's a product jack or an ideology, that is you. And you have to understand them. No, you don't. People are stupid. People are dumb. All you got to do is make it seem like, hey, this is the it thing, and young women will buy it.
Yeah.
Make it seem cool. Young men will buy it. And I guess that's understanding them a little bit, Jack. But you don't have to be like, they might feel like Sydney Sweeney is got better genes than them, so they won't buy them. Because that would be retarded, and we've seen how that actually impacts the advertising world. Right, Bud Light?
Yeah.
They form their associations, act with them, speak to them, and that resonates. So it's absolutely.
Well, let me respond to that. Today's show is brought.
Hang on, we got to jump ahead. Let me respond to that, and then we get a commercial. Go, Piers.
Code Piers. Let me respond to that, because from a marketing point of view,
Sure.
American Eagle several years ago launched a lingerie campaign featuring female models with disabilities and chronic illnesses. One model was pictured wearing a colostomy bag, another was photographed with her arm in crutches.
I'm trying to remember if we saw that. And when he said the colostomy bag, that triggered a memory, and now I'm sad again.
Yeah, that's depressing. Yeah, I think we did talk about that. I'm not positive.
I've never had a colostomy bag. Gentlemen, do you want to see your woman with a colostomy bag in lingerie? Ladies with a colostomy bag, do you want to be wearing lingerie?
I saw one really hot chick that had a colostomy bag. She had been in a car accident or something, and it fucked up her insides. But she was really cute. But I did not, for the record, say dibs on the fourth hole, because that would have been crass.
I had a friend who's very attractive who had a colostomy bag. She had some kind of butt cancer. I don't remember which kind. So she had a colostomy bag for like a whole year of her life. And she was still pretty with her colostomy bag, but I didn't want to see her in lingerie with a shit bag.
I mean, I get that. It probably makes you feel very unsexy to have that.
It's not saying there's anything wrong with having a colostomy bag. That's a medical thing. But just like I don't want to see a vagina during its period leaking all over the place, I'm not going to be turned on when you got your colostomy bag out.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care how you dress it up. It's
kind of hard to. There's certain things that are kind of hard to make look sexy.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing, if you're married to that woman, you can still have sex with her, but you're not going to be like, oh, baby, your shitbag turns me on. Because if you are like that, she should run.
Yeah, fast. Or call for assistance. Oh, Jesus.
Anybody who's turned on by a colostomy bag has problems that we can't deal with in the short amount of time we have on this planet.
That's like a foot fetishist. Ugh.
Anyhow,
is one woman posed in her wheelchair, and it did nothing for sales. So from a marketing point of view, it didn't work. Now you have a hot woman who is none of those things, who is just a hot woman, like the old advertising used to use all the time, along with hot men. I remember the Calvin Klein jean ads with men, topless, selling buckets of jeans. And guess what?
Why is Mark over there doing air quotes?
He likes bunny ears. He's like, little bunny, foo, foo, hopping through the forest, because he's bored. I don't know.
What Piers is saying is absolutely true. And maybe he's using air quotes for hot men. I don't remember what I remember of the Calvin Klein ads is a whole bunch of abs and tidy whities. I don't know anybody who ran out and bought Calvins because they saw those. But what are the air quotes for? I don't get it.
Jean ads with men, topless, selling buckets of jeans. And guess what? Sales are up 30%. So you as a marketer should say, well done, American Eagle. You've stopped being ridiculous.
Well, if we took what she said and she applied it properly, you got to understand your base. Then that ad is understanding your base. Young women, we're talking tween to about 30, Jack. They want to look attractive. I know, hashtag not everybody, because you have your feminists out there like, no, I'm fat and ugly because I don't want men to look at me. It didn't happen in the reverse order, I swear. But the reality is, and we've seen this, you can see this over and over and over throughout history, they want to look attractive. And so you put something attractive on and go, hey, these jeans will make you look attractive. And then they're at the mall and they're like, I want to look attractive. I'll take those.
I want to be pretty. As Notch Johnson said, there's nothing more important in life than being a pretty girl.
Yeah. And the idea, this is where they get it wrong in advertising when they try to do all the woke shit. When you include a colostomy bag, no young girl who's looking, or let's say not young girl, we're not the left here. No young adult woman, say 18 to 30, is like, I really want a colostomy bag and some lingerie.
Well, you are targeting such a small audience at that point that you're wasting money effectively.
I mean, to me, Jack, it's like the Arby's ad that you had earlier. It's not even an ad. It's somebody who plays with Caitlin Clark, some blonde chick, is now with Arby's. She's advertising for them. And now every time I see her, I'm just going to see the roast beef vagina thing.
Yeah.
When you link your lingerie company to shit bag, you've probably ruined it.
It's going to be a hard sell because, again, the target audience for something like that feels sexy, even though you have a condition. It is such a small group.
And this is what happens when you're right. If they were actually like, hey, you like if this was in a medical thing, right? Like you can still look, because they have very designer bags you can put your colostomy bag in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
so if you're targeting it to that, then it would make sense. But they did it as a general ad campaign for their lingerie.
Yeah, my brother had a hooded sweatshirt with interior pockets. He just put them in there.
There you go.
Ridiculously woke, trying to sell groups of people and ignoring.
They're still trying to sell to the large group of people because of what this lady said. You have to understand their sensibilities. Everybody likes cripples.
Look, there's a fetish out there for everything, but like I said, you're talking about a very small group of people. The amount of people that are actually in wheelchairs is a pretty small number.
Yeah, but there's a difference between who it would actually work on and who they're trying to target. When they made that, they were still trying to target the same people that they were targeting with the Sydney Sweeney ad. It was just a really bad way to try to market to them.
Yeah.
In the chick on the right, in her world, if you put a fat tub of shit in a pair of American Eagle jeans, young girls will flock to American Eagle jeans because they're body positive. And in reality, the young girls, even being body positive, will look at that and go, wow, if I wear those, they're going to make me look like a fat tub of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Even fat chicks don't want to think they're fat chicks.
No. The whole idea of it is to make yourself look better. And when you're showing them, hey, you can look like Lizzo, it's not a really good ad campaign.
Yeah. Lizzo is not attractive. Oh,
No.
I found out where that chick's from.
Where's she from?
Chick on the far right. She's from Latvia.
Like where Dr. Doom came from?
No, that's Latveria. That's not a real place. Latvia is one of the Eastern Bloc post-communist countries.
Mass majority who are going to buy your jeans. And now you've gone route one, using sex and femininity to sell jeans. And by the way,
that's another part that they have a problem with, is the femininity of that, because whether you think she's attractive or not, you cannot say that Sydney Sweeney doesn't look feminine. I mean, and in a country where we're supposed to accept Dylan Mulvaney as a girl, the whole idea of an attractive woman, especially white, you can be an attractive other person, but not white anymore. No.
They don't care if she's white or black or anything else. They just care that she's hot. And Beyonce sold jeans. That was a great campaign. That worked really well because she's a hot black woman. And the moment you try and read in...
No. It wasn't because she was a hot black woman. It's because she's a hot woman. You don't need the color.
Yeah, she's not hot, though. Those thunder thighs. Ugh.
I've always thought Beyonce looks like a man, honestly.
Yeah, she's way overrated. Vanessa Williams back in the 90s.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah. Like to paint the colors of the wind with her. Dear God. Like Asia Carrera.
Look,
back in Wayne's World era. Whoa.
My favorite part of the movie The Last Boy Scout is Halle Berry's dance.
See, I never found Halle
Stripper
Berry
in that, and
hot.
I've always loved Halle. Oh God.
You saw was Gods and Monsters where she's topless, right?
No, I saw her in Swordfish where she was topless.
Oh, yeah, she was banging Billy Bob Thornton in a scene.
Yeah,
it was weird. That was weird.
If that wasn't a rape scene, that shouldn't exist.
No, it was a passionate, consensual encounter. Not just like he was passionate about, doing it and she's like crying. No, it was like they were both into it. It was very off-putting.
If she didn't lose a bet, that's not believable.
dump truck loads of money don't equal suspension of disbelief.
No. Mr. D-Ball Money, thank you so much. Dylan Bulgavini. Yeah.
Bullshit. That's a good one.
All this other stuff. I mean, you say you don't want to be inflammatory. You literally said it was one of the most outrageously racist marketing campaigns ever. What could be more inflammatory than that?
Well, let me correct you, Piers. I said that I've seen in recent years. I'm very careful with my words. So I did not paint this picture of this being a racist ad,
All right. We are at about 23:03. Let's go back a second. That's where he introduces them all. So right about here.
Problem with this ad. I mean,
Go ahead.
Foreign native pointed out that I meant Tia Carrera, not Asia Carrera.
Who's Asia Carrera?
Porn star.
Oh, yeah.
But they were both pretty hot around that time, in my
Fair
defense.
just saw Sydney Sweeney looking hot.
in a world where more people.
What memo didn't I get?
I would love to live in a world where more people would have the privilege to look at this ad and simply see an ad for great jeans. But that's not the world that we live in. And we live in the world that is marked with a lot of cultural baggage. So when I saw this ad as a marketer, somebody who works with agencies and brands on issues of culture and cultural relevance, I was frankly angered. And the reason for that is that the ad is racist and eugenics coded.
Look at Jedediah laughing. That's so funny.
Evidence for the 30% sale ever. So
racist marketing campaigns ever. What could be more inflammatory than that?
Well, let me correct you, Piers. I said that I've seen in recent years. I'm very careful with my words. So I did not paint this picture of this being a racist ad.
You literally said it was racist and eugenics coded. You realize that's on film, right?
No. Maybe they don't have recordings in Latvia. Dr. Doom doesn't allow it.
I did not call this racist, but you did.
Yeah, she totally did. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. They deny the fact that white people could be attractive. Like the black guy said earlier, that focus on white people makes the world less beautiful, meaning white people are uglier than non-white people. I mean, yeah, that's actually one way to interpret what he said. He does say stuff like that quite a bit. So, yeah, that's a fair interpretation. But that kind of goes to the modern academic thinking of there is a slightly anti-white narrative filtered throughout. And that does not surprise me because look how angry they are that this was a white woman.
Evil One wants me to call out the nose ring. I did that at the beginning of the show before I ever started playing the video. Before, like in the first 2 minutes of the show when I'm laying out what we were going to talk about tonight. I already did that.
I've been looking at a lot of pictures of this woman. She has very sharp features. And
yes,
if you look at her from the side, she actually has a fairly large nose. She's not hideous head on, but if you look at her from certain angles, she looks like the witch from the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
I think she looks like she should be trying to take over Christmas from her Halloween perch.
Oh, yeah. She does have kind of a hocus pocus look. I think she'd be better served putting her hair down.
She looks like she belongs in a Tim Burton movie about dark things. Why is his animation so pointedly drawn? Ugh, I fucking hate Tim Burton.
You have he's got a lot of issues. That guy's really fucked up.
I hope he's somewhere right now with something in his anus that he accidentally got in there.
Wow.
Ever. But I do think, and I think I've explained the way that representation works and the way that I see it working within this ad. Now, I would love to...
You didn't just talk about, you literally called it racist, lady.
No, it had racist dog whistles, monkey. See, it was coded that way.
It was racist and eugenics coded were your words. I hope he plays them back for her. Because if I'm him, what you see him right there, that would be me on my phone to my producer. Pull that shit back up.
see the evidence for the 30% sales spike. I personally have not seen it. Neither I have seen, anyone in the marketing community share it. So I would love to see it and the source for that. However, there is a question of ethics, and there is a question of ethical guardrails in marketing.
It's now a question. Ethical guardrails. We can't have white women in commercials about jeans.
Oh my God, she's talking about censorship. Ethical guardrails. Who gets to determine what is and what isn't ethical in an ad? Seriously, that is dangerous talk. By the way, our audience is on fire tonight. She looks like a series of isosceles triangles. Like, it's been a while since we had a math joke in here.
Oh, God.
I understand that in 2020 or whenever, brands were responding to the cultural moment of post-2020 impulse to increase representation, diversity, etc.
Impulse? Demand. Stop it.
Extortion, I would argue.
Yeah.
And perhaps those campaigns were not commercially successful. Now, do I think that commercial outcomes justify any kind of campaign that implies anything out there just because it drives sales? Well, no, as a marketer, I am interested in driving business results, but also thinking
that's all you should be for the marketing. There shouldn't be your ethical guardrails. Now, look, there are ads that can go too far. I mean, Balenciaga trying to, rape children, that was a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, did Calvin Klein do something like that where they had like these really young kids in like states of undress back in the early 90s or something?
They got a lot of comparisons to the Brooke Shields ads because of that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was meant to be provocative, and it came off a little pedo-y, a little raped in a basement in the 70s look. But and it hurt them financially for doing that.
Yep.
About the ethics of representation and what kind.
The ethics of representation. What a fucking bullshit statement.
What an academic thing to say. The ethics of representation. She's probably going to write a book with that title. That's just more loaded buzzwords that really mean nothing except I want to censor what you say.
Yeah.
Kind of messages are young girls and children, frankly, consuming when they log on to their Instagram or TikTok and keep swiping. And again, I said, I take a more balanced approach to this. I do not think it was intentional propaganda, as I have already said.
But you did call it racist. She's right that she said it wasn't intentional, which makes her entire argument retarded. You can be accidentally racist, I believe, Jack. Like if you didn't know something was racist and you repeat it, and you're still not racist, but you come off as racist.
Yeah, so, like the scene in Clerks 2 where they're talking about porches.
Yes. And when you get to accidental eugenics, though, that's not a thing.
How do you have accidental eugenics? That's confusing to me. This is just more circular bullshit for saying I'm pro censorship and don't like this.
But I do think that there are some codes within this marketing media communications, which is a unit of media, that are concerning in the way that they are implying that good grade genes are.
I'm not going to repeat it. I'm just going to once again, there's a difference between imply and infer. Jack can imply something to me, but I infer what he means. And they don't necessarily line up. If you don't think they did it intentionally, then it wasn't implied. You can't unintentionally imply something. You might not even realize you're doing it at the time, but like if you're implying something, you're doing it for a reason. You don't accidentally imply. Unless you're a retard, I guess. I like her. But if there was nothing implied in this, there's nothing implied in this ad at all, Jack, other than it's a direct statement that Sydney Sweeney has good genes. And her inference is what they're saying is that only Sydney Sweeney has good genes and only people who look like her. You stop using the wrong words. You inferred it. They didn't imply it, dumbass.
Represented by
because she inferred it, that means they implied it. It's given that it's there. She's just smart enough to pick up on it.
But by her own reasoning, it's not intentional from them, so they couldn't have implied it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
by someone like Sweeney. Now, other co-panelists mentioned if another particular model of other kind of background, or maybe multiple models were featured, there's likely would not be an uproar. And that is because that kind of messaging carries cultural baggage, as I've mentioned, that is.
How big is cultural baggage? Like
big enough for a Joe Biden employee to steal?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty impressive then.
What this lady just said, without meaning to, is that she's racist.
I mean, she did grow up in Latvia.
Is reflective of the history of racism in this country.
No,
and the
not
way
why.
that
Anastasia,
people,
that was me.
Because she's hang on. Because she's white. Hang on. Because she's white and got blue eyes. Is that why?
Because the verbal cues surrounding this terminology that carries a lot of cultural weight, such as offspring, great genes, are paired with these other signifiers that are very specific: blue eyes, blonde.
Giving birth means that you're a boat because they birth ships. They're spelled different, but that doesn't matter. It's some sovereign citizen level thinking.
She's got a PhD, Jack.
Yeah. We see how much that's worth now. This woman worked for Disney at one point.
Of course she did.
I mean, you'd be shocked at her credits. I was on her website,
I honestly wouldn't, because this is the kind of shit that a ton of companies were doing for a while, was hiring people like her. It's what HR departments are. It's just this bitch over and over again in a different body.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking like Adidas, the makeup company Elf, Red Bull, Home Depot, Ultra Beauty, L'Oreal. She's been in the world of marketing effectively, because these companies, she's worked for a lot of them that make makeup.
And I guarantee you all of her ads are what we would call woke ads. I bet you she makes sure to count how many white people are around her at any given moment, because she doesn't want to be seen as racist. All right.
On skin, etc. And you have to understand
I'm
that
sorry,
this is
did she
just
say
a
blonde
blue
skin?
Are paired with these other signifiers that are very specific: blue eyes, blonde skin, etc.
Yep, that bitch just said blonde skin.
I'm gonna hope that was just a fuck up, but you just never know anymore.
I want to see some of this blonde skin. I had a cat once that had blonde hair. Was that close?
I think if you have blonde skin, you should probably go get checked for your liver, because that's not a good sign if your skin's turning yellow.
Sounds like jaundice, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't seem healthy. And I've seen people with jaundice, and it's a fairly undesirable trait, I would say. Almost like you should seek immediate medical attention.
I do want to say that if American Eagle comes out with an ad with a blonde-skinned woman talking about her good genes, I will object.
I'll be a little creeped out, because if she's not Asian, I don't know what's going on here. I'll be like, why is this woman like a bright yellow? It will probably be a dye job too. Just like Sweeney.
Can you have dirty blonde skin?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions involved here.
And you have to understand that this is just a reality of how our brains work. We move through life and we
No, it's how your brain works. Because your whole goal in life is to be offended. This is not how my brain works, Jack. And this is more of the problem with psychology. You have to understand how the brain works. See, now she's trying to pretend that this is some found psychology. They've narrowed it down, and if you see this ad, you're gonna look at that. If that's true, how come 3 of the 5 people on the screen right now disagree with your dumb ass if that's how brains work?
Well, because they're not as smart as she is.
It's all that blonde skin of hers.
Yeah.
Develop these conceptual and mental maps.
So you don't
based
like
on the
it because she's
media.
white and got blue eyes. All right.
That's not why,
Deborah Lee.
though.
That
Deborah
is
Lee,
very dismissive.
hang on.
She just took a long time to say what he summed it up in one little thing there.
Yeah, she was dancing around it, and look at her smiling. She's like, no, he.
You even admitted that if it was somebody else that there wouldn't be controversy over it, but it's because it's the blonde, blue-eyed white girl.
Oh, white girls.
Intellectual.
Hang on. We're going to go in the right order. I'm going to ask Deborah Lee.
What did she say?
She's white and got blue eyes. All right.
That's not why,
Deborah
though.
Lee.
That
Deborah
is
Lee.
very dismissive.
Hang on.
Intellectual.
Oh, anti-intellectual. That's anti-intellectual. See, you boiled it down to what I was saying. You made me sound like the racist shitbag that I am. You need to use my intellectual language so we can hide that from people.
Yeah. Being concise and in plain language makes it anti-intellectual. That's usually what that means.
Hang on. We're going to go in the right order.
See how pissy she is because she's been sitting up the whole thing and now she's slumped back. Like,
yeah, she's angry. You wouldn't like her when she's angry.
She is going to be calling his producer.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to get you fired from the internet.
God damn.
I'm going to ask Deborah Lee. Deborah Lee, I mean, ultimately we got to the real problem. She's white and got blue eyes. Since when was that a crime to use a white, blue-eyed woman who's hot and an actress to sell products? Happens all the time, as it does.
Used to happen all the time. Used to happen.
With black actresses all the time.
I'd say somewhere in the last 5 to 6 years, the oldest marketing ploy from the beginning of time is sex sells. Every single person knows that. And the problem with the left and everybody who's offended by this is they extrapolate. It's not just this situation. They hear somebody say, I love being thin. And they go, oh, so you hate fat people? Sydney Sweeney saying she has good genes, which...
You're not helping.
Oh, sorry.
There's a lot that goes into having good genes.
Here at the Ranting Monkey channel, we do not approve of Jack's statement of hating on fat people. The opinions of the commentary and guests are not those of the producers.
I don't hate fat people. I hate fat activists. And if somebody's annoying me and I can call them fat because they are, I will take that chance too. But as a fat person, it would be self-defeating to hate fat people.
Yeah, I hate other fat people. Pulling up the ladder behind me.
He's a self-hating fat man.
Don't know about. Maybe she doesn't have any history of family illness. Maybe she has very low visceral fat. Like you said, Piers, great skin, didn't need braces. It's much more than just having blonde hair.
Oh, stop. Ah.
I do like that image, though. Their mouth open.
This woman should not be on the panel. She's not helping at all.
No, she's not. But that might be why he put her in there. She's like a ringer, you know.
We know why Sydney was there. Why Sydney? Why they're saying she has good genes? It's not because of her family medical history. She could have the worst medical history in the world. It's because she's attractive and got big old boobies. That's why she's on there. That's the genes they're talking about. Her physical genes. Stop it. Just stop.
Blue eyes, okay? But to say that Sydney Sweeney has good genes means now we're saying that all these other people don't have good genes. Relax. Why do you have to always get offended by every single thing? Nobody's saying that. And let's just go back to...
Well, these are the people who got offended at All Lives Matter because that means you're not giving black people special privilege in that category.
Yeah,
I
look,
mean,
most of these so-called academics aren't real smart, so.
What was it, Abercrombie, that had the shirtless models outside of all of their offices? It's the same people that are offended by the Sydney Sweeney ad that were dreaming and praying to end up with one of those shirtless models. Society has progressed too far in the sense where now every single person needs to include on everything to find value.
Yeah, cut her off. She's stupid.
Okay, Marla Monhill. I remember a model called Tess Holliday being the
a model of going and doing sit-ups, maybe.
He's bringing up Tess Holliday. Oh, Piers.
Cover of Cosmopolitan magazine. She was 305 pounds
Yep.
and 5'2".
Yep.
And the whole piece was about how incredibly empowering this was and what an example of body positivity it was. When in fact, it was unbelievable.
What's that?
Was the cover of Gatefold cover?
Didn't Tess Holliday do a swimsuit spread somewhere too?
Yeah, I think so. She's one that pops up, or did pop up. Is she dead now?
No, not last I knew. She'd been losing weight last I heard.
Oh. She's one of them that pops up every now and then, much like the Slayton sisters and others, the fatty community. They just pop up on random things for advertising and marketing and somehow get work. I don't know how it works.
You brought up the Slayton sisters, and now I just got to do it. How the fuck you get a fat forehead?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, the fat's got to go somewhere. I mean, look at Amberlynn Reed. When she puts on weight, her face gets rounder and rounder. Dude. That's why they call her a moon.
Yeah, it gets in their cheeks and stuff, but until the Slayton sisters, I ain't never seen a fat forehead.
I think that is like one of those like Neanderthal traits.
Oh,
they kind of look like throwbacks, if I'm honest.
They look like Klingons.
Yeah. Well, if they had ridges, they probably would be Klingons, because that's how you tell aliens in Star Trek. They have bumpy heads.
Oh, if you guys have never seen the Slayton sisters, look it up. I'm not kidding. They got fat foreheads. Never heard of such a thing.
And about 5 teeth between them.
Unbelievably dangerous promotion of morbid obesity. That's what it was. Because if you're 305 pounds and 5'2", you are dangerously fat, and you are more likely than not to die from the repercussions of being that size. And yet the woke left went, look at this. Isn't this fantastic? And yet here you have a model who's not super slim, Sydney Sweeney. She's got a very rounded, normal body, right? She's not like a stick insect supermodel.
She actually is very, very thin. I mean, you really want to notice how skinny people are in like Hollywood and in modeling. Look at their arms. She has big old titties, so he's like, she's got a normal body. No, she's Hollywood thin, and if you see them in real life, they actually look emaciated.
I would like to test that theory. Call me Sydney. She doesn't look Eugenia Cooney thin, though.
Look at her arms. That bitch got spaghetti arms.
I didn't know Sydney had arms. I'll look into that.
And she looks hot, and she's wearing jeans, and she happens to be white and happens to have blue eyes.
They have played the same clip a couple of times now. I feel like somebody at his studio is jacking off right now.
Well, that is a sexy sequence where she's zipping up her pants, talking science stuff, or talking about her jeans. It's kind of hot. Eagle said, I just looked up Tess Holliday. I didn't need to see that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
Wait, what did I say there?
That reminds me, I have pizza in the fridge.
Because the Staten sisters have great genes. Fuck you.
Try and turn this into a racial thing or to compare it to the Nazis, even by woke standards, seems to me ridiculous.
Me and you are just different people. There's nothing that the woke could come out with that I would actually think is ridiculous for them.
Yeah, they seem to be getting more and more desperate, so they just call more things by these terms, and sometimes you're like, well, I don't even see what you're talking about. That's all.
there is no low for them. There's no ceiling to how dumb they can get.
No, because anything they don't like is offensive somehow, and they just have to find a term for it. And they have a handful of favorites that they like to throw out.
Okay. First, just for clarity, Sydney Sweeney is a size 0. So even when we say that someone
fat.
is a
What's that?
Yeah, fat.
This is what I'm talking about, though. Even people on TV who look kind of fat aren't. They're probably actually normal.
No, anybody with boobs that big is fat.
No, they're
not. Or gonna be fat.
Monkey's been going about 2 hours and 45 minutes. On just this, did I really start about 15 minutes in? I thought we were like a half an hour in. Okay.
normal size, that suggests that the average person is a size 0. The average person, the average woman in this country is not. So at
normal and average are not the same thing.
Yeah, she's normal, but average people eat dog shit. I was just talking about pizza in my fridge. Most Americans eat garbage, and we have a lot of chemicals in our food that do not help. High fructose corn syrup being a major player in that.
I don't think that Sydney Sweeney is average, and I don't think size 0 is normal either. It's really not. And especially if you're starving yourself for that, it's a really, really bad idea, because the reason that you have more heart problems and stuff for super skinny, like Eugenia Cooney kind of skinny, versus somebody like Tess Holliday, is because the body's trying to get nutrients and it will start literally eating itself. Where fat people have more long-term problems that the heart finally gives out because it's coated in shit.
Yeah, it's working harder.
Neither's healthy, though.
But I would argue that we need to start making size 0 normal. Because I don't want anybody in my subterranean love den to get porked up. So size 0 is the limit. You know,
I had a friend in high school whose waist was tiny as shit. I could literally have picked her up and thrown her across a room if I wanted to, and she was a size 4. Yeah, exactly. Size 0 is ridiculously skinny.
How tall is she?
All moments.
She's gotta be short.
What's that?
How tall is she?
The girl, she was like almost.
No,
Sydney, I have no idea how tall she is. But a size 0, and no matter what height you are, unless you're shorter than Brad Williams, that's way too small.
Oh, she's 5'3".
When we make these observations that seem neutral, we're actually assigning a value. So if I am a size 8 as a woman, and you just said on national TV as the most important, coolest, most handsome host in the history of television, if you say that it's normal to be a size 0, then yeah, when I'm a size 8, now I feel like something's wrong with my body.
Yeah,
then you're a retard.
Oh.
You're retarded. If somebody says that size 0 is normal, and you're a size 8, and you're like, oh my God, I must be bad, then you're a retard, because he didn't say only size 0 is normal.
Yeah, there's a range of body types. Some people are thicker than others. We call them fat because they're a bunch of tubby goos and not attractive. And there's other people that are a little more pleasant to look at. There's a range of normalcy, and that's what these guys don't understand. They want their point to be correct without acknowledging nuance.
Similarly,
so she doesn't look normal to you, Sydney Sweeney.
She looks normal. 38 seconds, by the way, for interruption. Great, you're on a new record.
God damn, I
hate
that, man.
Similarly,
so she doesn't look normal to you, Sydney Sweeney.
She looks normal. 38 seconds, by the way, for interruption. Great, you're on a new record. I think she looks normal.
He was reiterating his question because you danced around instead of just saying yes or no. All right. Maybe if you gave real answers, people wouldn't interrupt you so much. Just a thought.
Wow, you're really touchy today.
I think I'm just teasing you, Piers. I'm just very upset about the world. You know,
it's not coming off as you teasing him. It's coming off as you being a pussy little bitch. This is some genuine help to you, Mark. This isn't. If you're trying to be playful here, it's not playing.
No, because it doesn't come off as playful at all. It comes off as he's a hypersensitive baby.
Yeah, to the point you fucking timed it, you dumbass.
Yeah.
And I need a hug.
He probably does need a hug.
Well, there are more important things to be worried about than Sydney bloody Sweeney. Trust me. Honestly, there is literally war. There is war raging around the world.
No, this is a bad point, Piers. People can be upset about more than one thing at a time, and yes, some of it can be even frivolous. I fucking hate this argument. You're not talking about world government here. It's not. They're not arguing Sydney Sweeney at the UN Security Council. This is some pop culture shit. It happens all the time. That's a bad argument.
There is famine, right? And you're getting your knickers in a massive twist about Sydney Sweeney.
That's actually where I'm going. Right? I mean, this conversation started with.
How'd you know her dress size, but not her hair color?
Because I just Googled it when he said it, and it comes up. Because I just typed Sydney Sweeney dress size, and it says Sydney Sweeney typically wears a size 23, which is equivalent to US size 0.
So you were fine talking on this concept or on this whole topic without looking her up to find out her hair color. But as soon as he said she's normal, you were like, I need to look that up so I can talk intelligently about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Weird.
Although I do realize now that the fascist ad of American Eagle with Sydney Sweeney is what caused starvation in Gaza.
It's true. It's true.
I just drew that. That's what I've learned today. I hope you've all learned something today.
To make an argument while he was talking. Google is amazing in that way. I had no desire to do it with the ad because it wasn't my point. As a scholar, my point was to see how the audience receives something, not how I, at a meta level, can look at it.
She's not a size 0, by the way.
I, at a meta level, can look at it. Could you be a more condescending elitist prick?
I mean, he could, yeah. I don't doubt that for a second. Don't challenge the man, Monkey. He'll pull it off.
As an admirer of the female form, she is not a size 0.
Okay, so now I'd like to respond to the actual point.
What do you mean there's just no way? Actresses tend to be thin, Jack. Like, scary thin. And they might even look buxom up there on the screen, and then you see them next to another person, like, holy shit, she's going to drift away. Do we have a
I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head.
Drift away. Yeah. Give me to be my soul.
Get lost in your rock and roll. That's code for vagina.
Oh God, why are some of these pictures so small when you click on them?
I don't know. It's really annoying.
I need her next to somebody with size on them. I don't know who this guy is. Is this going to be a big enough picture? Whoops. I mean, kind of. Okay, here. This is a male actor, so he's clearly in shape, Jack.
Yeah.
And her abdomen is about half the size of his.
Well, she's a woman, so yeah, she's gonna be tiny.
Yeah,
looks like she's got a little bit of a paunch there. Better do some sit-ups, Sydney.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Hello, Sydney. Do some sit-ups.
Just your reminder that Jack thinks if you haven't been in a concentration camp, you're fat.
It's called fat camp for a reason, Monkey.
Yeah. I think he's a Hallmark actor. Yeah, but point being, it gives us something to compare it to. And on screen, it doesn't always translate that way. You either have movement going on, or it's when you see these ladies next to something you can compare to a normal size. And no matter how thin guys get, Jack, we have a general range, unless you're a bodybuilder, of our abs in peak condition. And she's half that size. for these people. There's no way she's a size 0. There's absolutely a way she's a size 0. She's a Hollywood actress.
Oh, for the record, that was Glenn Powell, who's in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember him in that. He plays the asshole. What's the asshole's name? The asshole who doesn't even get redeemed at the end. He gets a weird redemption in that you start cheering for him at the end, but he's still the same asshole.
Yeah. Well, that's probably real to life. But thank you for pointing that out, Assassin.
It kind of is like with Iceman in the original one. He's an asshole all the way through. Anyway.
I concede. Whatever size she is, my point is to say any woman has a normal size. It assigns a value. And I'm not saying you're right or wrong about your value. I'm saying we're always articulating values when we say things.
No, we're
Putting
not.
a 300-pound woman on a cover is not in and of itself a problem. If I put a 300-pound woman on a cover and say, that's the healthy body, I'm implicitly saying that other bodies are not. And to your point, I think.
Again, no, you're not. Unless you say this is the only healthy body. Although it is instructive, Jack. Because
you like instructing us.
I do. This is how they think. This is one of those how they think moments. And it is important to know how the other side thinks.
That's true.
So if Mark Lamont Hill does say he likes something, he is saying he doesn't like anything else like it. Like if he says he likes cheeseburgers, that means every other food is bad in his opinion. If he said that this is a good cheeseburger, no other food can be good. By his own logic, Jack, not mine. And by his own stated logic. If I say this is good, then implicitly I'm saying everything else is bad. That's not my logic. It's his. And it is important to understand that people think like this.
Yeah.
They assign it to everybody else. We all think like that. No. But they absolutely do. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
That's the only acceptable way to look at the world. I'm looking at his picture of his wife, and she's not as hideous as I thought she would be.
I didn't know he was married. I thought he was gay.
I thought that too when I first saw him. But yeah, he's married. For a while, I think he was dating a white girl, and I think that's what turned him racist, actually.
Maybe. Look, I'm not saying I think he's gay because of any of his mannerisms or anything. It's actually how he dresses, because he dresses himself very nice. He dresses like Dave Rubin.
Yeah, he is a sharp dresser. I'll give Lamont Hill the credit for that. He is a very sharp dresser. And he dresses in a way that accentuates his features, because he's a relatively handsome man. He's got like that Omar Epps look.
Yeah.
But his suits always seem to be really well thought out. And yeah, I can see why you would think he's gay for that. I thought he was gay first time I saw him, and I didn't really have a reason. I just was like, I think that guy's gay. I couldn't explain it, but now that you say that, that would make sense.
My maybe not.
What?
Hello?
There you are.
Thank you. My internet was breaking up, but it didn't actually kick me all the way off. So I'm just trying to get confirmation it's working again. Anyway.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. So Sydney Sweeney is 5'3", 126 pounds, and a dress size 6 with 34 Ds. Nice.
How tall is she and what's weight?
5'3", 126 pounds.
There's no way she's 126.
Yeah, it's kind of fat.
By Hollywood size, that is excessively fat.
Yeah, so the fact that he's a pissy little drama queen makes him look gay.
Well, there is that, but yeah, I now I need Sydney to come to my house and step on a scale for me, because I do not believe she's 126. She looks 126. The fuck she does. The average in Hollywood is something like 100 pounds.
Maybe a lot of that's in her boobs.
Maybe.
I think that might be problematic. At the beginning of this conversation, Deborah, I think your name is Deborah. Forgive me for if I got your name wrong. I think you mentioned the river to the sea, right? The river to the sea is not in and of itself. Those words for me are not genocidal. I know.
No, it's when you put them with the rest of that.
Yeah.
No, just from the river to the sea in and of itself is not genocidal. No. Where are you going? From the river to the sea. That's the direction, Jack. That's a map.
Yeah, but when you're like, Palestine will be free of the Jews, then it comes off as a bit more racist. Yeah, it's who's saying it and how it's said. Her boobs are 10 pounds. Yeah, each. Are you back? Oh, there you are.
I think so. Yeah, it's the people who are saying it. I see that in chat. That's where I was going that you guys didn't get to hear. Just the words alone, no. But this is the shit he's trying to pass off. It's like, no, see, that doesn't mean it.
Oh, they're not genocidal, but to you, you hear it differently. Why? Because you're looking at history, you're looking at context, you're looking at intent, you're looking at action.
Show me the intent. He's trying to make a point here that I actually do agree with, that things like intent matter and context matters, but he's throwing all of that out in the ad. He's adding context and shit that wasn't there, intent that even his weird compatriot there doesn't agree with, because she said there was no intent. Without the intent, then there's not a problem here.
Well, intent and context only matter when it's relevant to their point. And I like how they put the Jewish girl on.
And you're making a different judgment. Your judgment's wrong. That statement is absolutely not Gaza needs to be free. And
no, it's not. It comes from the.
It's not Gaza needs to be free. Gaza doesn't go from the river to the sea. Israel does.
Yeah, it's Palestine is supposed to be free.
Yeah, Gaza goes from the sea to a couple miles in from the sea.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, I mean, they started shit with the Jews in the 60s and lost.
Don't
stop starting shit, you idiots. You keep losing.
The two Palestinian groups aren't connected. The Gazans are over at the sea and the West Bank is off the river, and they're not connected. The only way for them to be connected is to get rid of the Jews there. But Mark Lamont Hill can't find any anti-Semitism in that.
Charter from the river to the sea means genocide all Jews. So no, I'm not looking at context. I'm looking at the literal Hamas charter and what these people
that would be context. Never. Okay, again, allow me to finish. I never interrupted you. The Hamas charter would be my point. You're
But you've just said you don't think it's anti-Semitic. You didn't say it's only anti-Semitic when Hamas says it. You said it's not what it means. And she's pointing out what it actually means. And now you're like, yeah, that's what it's talking about, context. You tried to skip over all that context. Oh my God.
You're not looking just at the words, you're looking at other pieces of evidence. That's called context. You're literally making my point. My point to you is
words have meanings? What? No,
I'm just going to start saying people are making my point when they're not.
Right? Took a wrong time to take a bite of pizza.
Isn't just about literal decoding. It's also about the meanings that are encoded into words. It's about the history. It's about other factors. And I'm telling you, the same way you're telling me as a Jewish person, there are certain words, certain images, certain tropes that impact you because of the history of anti-Semitism.
That's not what she said. She's not saying that from the river to the sea is anti-Semitic because of the history of how Jews have been treated across the world. It's because the people who chant from the river to the sea literally want to see the death of all Jews. There's no hidden context there that we got to go searching for. It's laid out in their goddamn charter. This would be different if Sydney Sweeney's ad said only white people have good genes. Then you would have a comparison here. There is no ambiguity to the charter of want to get rid of the Jews. But Mark Lamont Hill, he can't. Nah, I don't think that's what it means. You only think that because of history. No. Not unless you mean current history that's being made at this very moment. You dumb motherfucker. I'm not sure if they're lying about it or just think it's out of context. I think that they're looking for offense. And they found some offense that's not really offensive, so now they have to try to justify that offense. And when there is no context to what they're offended by, so they invent it. That's what this is. So in a way, it is lying, but it's not lying in an overt way. It's lying in search of justification for their bullshit ideology. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I'm telling you that that same history of white supremacy that makes anti-Semitism so ugly also makes anti-black racism so ugly. I didn't tell you I was offended.
Is the Sydney Sweeney ad only anti-black racism? I thought it was all other things. Maybe I missed something.
By this argument, you keep saying, you said get a job and stop being offended. I think we all have jobs here, and I don't think any of us are offended per se. I
wasn't speaking just to
you. You literally called it offensive. Just a moment ago, he called it offensive, and now it's like, I'm not offended by it.
I was speaking to the people offended by this. If you have time to sit and make TikTok videos complaining about a woman in an ad, you probably don't have bigger things to care about. Like Piers said, there's much bigger problems.
I agree.
All right, let me bring in Jedediah for the final word on this. Jedediah, it seems to me, if I was running a marketing campaign for a big company now involved in, I don't know, leisure or beauty or fashion, whatever, I would just be deliberately goading the woke left now.
100%. And I'd be blatant about it too. I would put like #fuck woke in my commercials or whatever we could get away with on national TV.
In a smart, funny way. I would just do it. 100%. I would do it all the time. I would let them throw all their toys out of the stroller and then just increase sales and just laugh my head off, because this censorious, puritanical bullshit is over. I've written a book called Woke is Dead, which is coming out in October. I think it'll be a massive bestseller because you know what? People are sick of it.
Can I write the forward?
I don't think woke is dead. I think it's dying. But it's going to have
flailing so hard.
Yeah, but they're going to have a resurgence. I don't know how great it'll be, Jack, because they don't own the media anymore. And that's the only reason we got any of the pushback that we have.
I think you'll see them flailing and screeching like the Wokies strike back. It'll just be mass chaos attempts to override anything that isn't approved by them.
I think they're desperate right now for another George. And I'm curious to see, because it will happen. We'll have another George Floyd moment. I'm curious to see how that goes down now that the media landscape has changed so drastically.
Well, they're trying desperately for that same thing, but the media keeps ending up finding out the reality of it. Look at Maryland Man. Well, there was one recently. Oh, this innocent guy's getting deported. It turned out he was a murderer. That they keep trying, but they haven't managed to get the cultural zeitgeist right at the right moment for that to happen. But it probably will. It'll probably be an ICE raid or something like that.
Yeah, we've definitely seen them try it with all the ICE stuff. I mean, we just watched that one yesterday with Padilla. The man fell 30 feet during an ICE raid, and nobody cared because we got to see the reality of what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think a lot of that is thanks to Elon Musk.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a massive bestseller because you know what? People are sick
Can I
of
write
it.
the forward?
They are sick of being told what they can laugh at, what they can admire. They're sick of being told they can't look at a beautiful white woman without being accused of being a Nazi. It's ridiculous.
You are 100% correct, and every company should do that because
Mark Lamont Hill there threw his hands up in exasperation, and he has a point, kind of, because the overall narrative isn't just that it's a white woman up there. But from the two people who have talked about how you have to understand what the audience is seeing, for them to be throwing their hands up in exasperation at this is hilarious. Because they only see what they see and what the weird audience they see is seeing. Mark isn't coming at this and go, oh, I see that some people are happy that it's okay to have a beautiful white woman out there again. Because they've seen for too long that we have to pretend that's not attractive, that fat, ugly people are attractive. It's weird that they're looking for all of this, how people feel, as long as it's the people that they want to see that from. They don't talk about that when it comes to people like you and me, Jack, where it's like, Sydney's kind of hot and I'd do her. Mark's not going, I get where those guys are coming from.
No, and he's not going to, because he thinks anything outside of his scope of view is incorrect and you're dumb for even seeing it that way. It's like a weird Rorschach test from the left. They refuse. Once they've cited something, they're locked in on it, and everything else is wrong.
there is a group of woke leftists who are outraged by just about everything that sit on the sidelines.
Stop it. Stop it. They are outraged at everything. You don't have to put that just in there.
Yeah.
And they just wait. They wait for an opportunity and then they jump and they go completely insane. And the vast majority of the country does not feel that way. The vast majority of the country does not see everything through a lens of how they can be offended. They looked at the ad. They saw a young hot girl. They said, oh, she does have good genes. They laughed about it. They went and had a day. They went and had a normal day. They didn't get all rancid inside. And the bottom line is,
I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this. We're going to back it up just a little bit. Watch the lady on the right's face as this woman is saying this. It's fucking priceless.
Vast majority of the country does not see everything through a lens of how they can be offended. They looked at the ad. They saw a young hot girl. They said, oh, she does have good genes. They laughed about it. They went and had a day. They went and had a normal day. They didn't get all.
That is a woman doing her best not to show how pissed off she is.
Yeah, she is trying really hard. And even Mark is sitting there shaking his head. He can't restrain himself. No, they were offended, damn it. They saw this for the racially coded blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because that's how he thinks people are, because that's how he is. And
yes. He lacks the ability to see through other people's perspectives because anything else is just wrong.
In fairness to Mark and the evil lady, I don't remember. It's not Anastasia, because that would sound cool. Anesthesia. Anesthesia over here. I forgot where I was going with that. I made myself laugh. Fuck, I hate when I do that.
She's definitely worse than Lamont Hill on this one.
Oh, I was giving them a little bit of credit. If you immerse yourself in something, especially like this, where they literally are looking for offense, her job is literally to find offense. And if you get in a mindset like that, you will find it everywhere, because you can twist anything. You could make trees themselves racist, not how anybody's used them. Just the tree itself is racist if you're in that mindset. And that's the mindset they put themselves in, and it's where they like to be because it pays well.
Yeah. And they feel comfortable in that because usually there's some kind of like under the surface anger they have that gets satiated by being angry at other things. They're angry about, I don't know, getting diddled or something, but it comes out as like, that's racist. And it gives them that like dopamine hit or adrenaline rush that they crave. And that they thrive on that misery.
think of the power that she wields in telling CEOs how they should market their stuff in her perfect, non-racist, non-sexist, beautiful everybody world.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Circus Zero. Hey, man, long time no see. Dunkin' Donuts did a light parody of Hot People ads. The TikTokers are going off about this like the Sydney Sweeney ad. Further the proof the left doesn't get humor. Yeah, and that drink that dude had looked like urine. I don't care what anyone says. But I know the ad you're talking about. I saw it earlier today or yesterday. And they can't bear it. And it's always these ugly screeching harpies that are it's largely jealousy, I think. They're like, that person's attractive and I'm not.
For some, it's definitely jealousy. Some, they just don't have a sense of humor. And some are like that lady over there who just want to find offense anywhere.
Yeah. And I think there's an element of all of that in there. They have like self-image issues. Maybe they don't think they're pretty, or, on some subliminal level or something. I don't know, but I think there's some really deep-rooted psychological problems with some of these people, like serious mental health issues.
It's been my experience. Women just tend to have self-esteem issues. They always think they're uglier than they are, except for the really, really ugly ones who for some reason think they're hot.
Yeah, that's a weird dynamic. I rank it up to some kind of injury to their tiny girl brain. But yeah, they do all have like I think it comes from the competitiveness of women, that they end up with these self-esteem issues that are often under the surface. It's some deep-rooted, like elementary school level shit.
It is. I first started noticing this in junior high. Cute girls in my class talking about how ugly they are. I'm like, compared to what? And then through high school and the rest of life, women, you guys are way too hard on yourselves. Way too hard. I realize
us get hard on them.
Yeah. I don't think you should be like men, because we probably should be a little harder on ourselves.
Yeah, we are way more unattractive than women. We are all potato shaped by about age 40.
But you guys, you're a lot prettier than you give yourself credit for. Anyway.
Exactly.
Rancid inside. And the bottom line is, it's so interesting to me because these people think somehow these woke leftists think they're winning. They think that by getting all riled up, they are winning the game, and they don't realize that they're constantly.
You know the irony. You know the irony, Jedediah?
Well,
here's the irony.
The reason they think they're winning is because once again they have turned a non-issue into an issue, and in that regard they are winning. Where they're losing is that nobody's falling for it anymore. So she's right here, Jack. But why wouldn't they think they're winning? They took this Gene ad and turned it into a week-long story.
Yeah, but in the long run, they're not going to win at this because it's only going to benefit American Eagle.
Yeah,
the controversy is just going to sell more clothes. But
and
they're used to winning, though.
And unlike when the left had complete control of all media, they're getting laughed at for it now.
Yeah, people have realized that it's okay to come out and laugh at these people, but most of them are in their little enclaves because they've turned away all their friends that disagree with them. They've thrown them out of their lives. Any minor disagreement, you're gone. So they are in echo chambers where they, of course, think they're winning because that's all they ever see. They don't associate with people outside their bubbles. Look how hostile Mark and Anastasia are toward these others when there's any degree of pushback. He can't handle Piers even trying to direct the conversation. And he takes that personally offensive because he's got some tirade he wants to express and he can't handle any degree of pushback. And they're all thin-skinned pussies like that. You want to make a leftist upset, just interrupt them a few times.
I'm going to need you to refer to Anastasia by her proper name.
Oh, my bad. Thought she was a czar's daughter for a minute there.
Anastasia's a pretty name. And why would you change it?
I don't
Anesthesia. I forget how Piers keeps saying it, but he doesn't say Anastasia. The sh at the end is different.
Well, he's British. They pronounce stuff weird, like
Anesthesia.
aluminium. Yeah, like maybe he thinks she's an anesthesiologist because he's like aluminium.
She's a doctor.
methane. Meh.
All right.
The irony is that in their attempt to portray everybody as white supremacists, the woke left have an inbuilt superiority complex. They think they are better and superior to everybody else, right? And it doesn't matter whether the woke left or white, black, whatever.
Not only
but they have an inbuilt superiority, and now I'm afraid it doesn't work because we've now seen Donald Trump get reelected by defying everything they stood for.
But not only that, Piers, what's important to note is that the people who created this ad were not creating a racist ad. But the people who saw racism and eugenics and Nazism in this ad, maybe they should self-examine. Why do they see everything through the lens of race? Why?
Because it pays. That's why. It's that. It is literally that simple.
Yeah, but some of them are also racist.
That's a bonus to them.
Yeah.
That they don't have to fake it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are they outraged by this ad with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl? But if you put, a black girl, if you put a Spanish girl, there would be no outrage. Why is everything that they see from the perspective of jumping into?
Wait, you're not supposed to be interrupting. Time to break out our phone and see how long it took.
No one ever argues that no one in the history of the West has ever argued that black people have superior genes. The Enlightenment era was built.
Oh, fuck off.
Okay, I need the commercial where Sydney is said to have superior genes.
I would like to break out every installment of Hidden Colors from Tariq Nasheed, where he argues that black people invented everything.
Yeah. If they had said Sydney has superior genes, I still would think they were full of shit, but at least I could kind of get it. Using the word superior would be kind of a...
or if she'd worked the word Reich in there somewhere.
People have been arguing...
superior genes.
Mark, people have been saying...
Actually, Jimmy the Greek argued that blacks had superior genes. Do you remember that controversy?
No.
It got him fired. He argued that slavery made blacks into superior athletes.
Was he in the mob or something?
No, he was a sportscaster.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea who that is.
He argued that the reason that they were so good at sports is because through slavery, the stronger genes prevailed, because if you were weaker, you were killed or died.
That was like selective breeding kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. Selective breeding through slavery was the point he was making.
That's bold stance.
He wasn't saying it was good. He was just saying it happened.
Yeah, I could see why he got in some trouble for that. But with a name like Jimmy the Greek, you could see why I thought he was in the mafia.
Oh, sure, of course. No, I believe that was that was in reference to his prognostication in sporting events.
Ah.
Yeah. When this was back in was that the 80s, guys? When did Jimmy the Greek have his big thing? Yeah, he lost his job and he's called a racist all over the world. And people aren't going to like this, but he might have had a point. And again, that doesn't mean we should bring back slavery to selectively breed. But if you want to talk about the strong surviving, slavery would be a point where, it's kind of what happened.
I mean, yeah, you're doing physical labor. People that are physically able-bodied are going to be more likely to survive that.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of people in wheelchairs out picking cotton. I know that's an unpopular statement, but...
88. Okay, yeah. Again, I am not saying that it's a good thing that happened. I'm saying there might be some science behind it.
Oh, that'll never be researched, and you know it.
No, of course not. Anyhow.
On the idea that white people have superior bodies. Every piece of aesthetics, of philosophy, of epistemology, every piece
what
of
you're
Western
saying is untrue. There has been a massive, hold on a second, there has been a massive battle in this country about obesity
See, historically, he's got to do that every time, because you can't deal with, for the people who don't like to be in the past, it's weird how they grab onto the past for shit like this. You know, we just watched Mamdani a little while ago, based on his own statements from 4 short years ago. I know, hey, we can't look at the past. But as he goes on to explain in there, Jack, it's the history of this department and what they do.
Yeah, linear time exists when it's convenient.
Yeah.
Longest time. You now have the condemnation of thin people. You have the elevation of obese people. You have campaigns, Cosmopolitan magazines.
I didn't see the Omar Epps in him until you said it, and I've been rewatching House recently, and he's pulling. He could play Omar Epps' brother in an episode,
right? Like, it's uncanny.
Damn. All right, his face is a little bit longer than, because I've always thought Omar Epps has like one of the most strangely round heads ever.
He does have kind of a round head, but Mark Lamont Hill he's like a more striking Omar Epps.
Yeah, he is. Oh my God,
he's a handsome man.
Yeah,
saying fat is healthy, fat is the new skinny, fat, all the time. No one says a peep. People in your camp do not say a peep about that because it's not on the list of things that outrages them. This annoys all the right people. This is a thin woman. It annoys the fat girl.
I'm not talking about skinny, ma'am. Just hear me out. I'm not talking about skinny.
It's the same conversation, Mark.
No,
you just happen to be outraged about.
What's that? I'm sorry, bud.
He's really interrupting a lot. For somebody
really
who hates
is.
interruption, he's been done it a dozen times to this woman.
Yes, because she's saying things he doesn't like to hear. Now, look, I get what he's trying to get on. He's trying to suggest that only white bodies have been elevated. And even when it comes to the fat people, except for Lizzo, he's kind of right. But he's trying to make this that they're saying that only this is good. But that's not anything that's been said for probably 60 years, Jack.
Yeah.
Not publicly acceptable.
No, it hasn't been acceptable in generations at this point. So it's amazing how they rely so heavily on the racism of the past to inflict upon us in the present some sort of punishment. But again, linear time means nothing to these people.
And the point she's making, because he's trying to make it seem like only certain bodies, and she's pointing out, no, the body standard has changed. Look at the fat part of it.
Different today. It's about race and eugenics. Tomorrow it's about obesity. There's always something for the woke left to be outraged about because they're always offended. They've always got their panties in a bunch because they're so darn sensitive about everything. They are not representative of the public.
Last word to you, Mark Lamont Hill. Otherwise, you'll be reporting me.
I'm not outraged, number one. And number two, I point out
for not being outraged, he sure did interrupt quite a bit.
Yeah, he may not have been outraged, but he wore an outraged uniform pretty well.
History of white supremacist logics and cultures that show that white lives, white bodies, white experiences are better. And you pointed to the recent.
This is not about history.
Please let me finish. You pointed to the influx of fat people on ads as a piece of counter evidence.
Did he really just say to her, "Let me finish"?
Yeah. Well, he was interrupting. He was interrupting her, and then she starts talking again, and he's like, "Stop talking."
Oh, fuck.
I'm not disputing your argument about fat people. I'm not disputing your argument about skinny people.
All I'm saying is that
I know what you're saying. You said it. I'm saying now let me say it. I'm saying that there's a history of white people being superior in terms of how we understand them in this country.
So you're only mad at Sydney's way. You don't care about the good
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask her a question.
Well, that is true. And that lady finally said something smart. Yeah, they're only mad or not mad, as Mark would tell us, because she's white. That's it. Because even the weird demon girl on the right there, Anesthesia, she's like, it wasn't intentional. And if somebody else was in there, if it was a skinny black chick, then nobody'd have a problem. It is literally, they're just mad because she's white.
Yeah.
That's it.
If a group of people had said, hey, I believe that this ad is anti-Semitic, would you have said similarly, get over yourself, stop fighting anti-Semitism everywhere?
Yes.
Would you have said that?
Yes.
Oh God, is the Nazi ad now anti-Semitic? I am so shocked by that.
It's whatever is convenient to them.
What the fuck do you mean if people said it was anti-Semitic? You said it was a Nazi ad.
No, but now he's doing hypotheticals because his original point has been defeated, and he can't handle that. So time to drift into hypothetical land.
It's like saying, what if the sky was blue? Hypothetically, if this thing we've been saying was the thing we're saying, would you agree?
Well, hypothetically, let's totally shift the goalpost to something that's the exact opposite of what I've been arguing. And how do you deal with that, huh, lady?
But it's not even the opposite of what he's arguing. It's literally, unless you're going to say that the Nazis weren't anti-Semitic, calling it a Nazi ad by default makes it anti-Semitic.
Look, your hate facts really are going to be ignored here.
Oh my God. Okay, all right, whatever.
Yes, I would have said get over yourself.
And
it's not
100% I would have done.
What'd you say?
100% I would have done. We've got to leave it there.
You don't even have to guess it's what they would have done. It's what they have been doing. Oh my God.
Debate.
Piers, I think you're consistent and wrong on all the issues. I think you're wrong all the time, but you're consistent. So I wasn't asking, I was only asking her. Piers, can I write the forward to that book, please?
No, but you can buy a copy. You might learn something. You might learn.
Okay, that's the end. They're going to wrap up and have their little chit chat there. Ah, Jack.
Monkey.
That was dumber than even I thought it was going to be.
That was actually painful.
It was. It really was. I really do think Piers needs to stop having so many people on. Just have 2 people on who can debate it out.
Yeah, 3 at the most, but even that's pushing it, honestly. He needs to get like 2 smart people. We have to specify.
I'm kind of okay with dumb people being on because it gives me more content.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that the wrong way to be?
No, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at remind me, and if we don't have a full show tomorrow, we'll bring up Anastasia's dissertation.
Yeah, I put it in our DMs just in case. That chick is she's something. From what I can tell, she's a real piece of work.
Anesthesia, goddamn. It's racist. I didn't call it racist. It wasn't even that long ago. But look, she did say that the woman had blonde skin, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could almost forgive that kind of error, but these people are so big on semantics that it makes it difficult to have any grace at all on that kind of front.
Yep.
And they're kind of dumb. So they're the smart, dumb people. I've told you about this before, but for the new people in the audience, smart, dumb people are dumb people who are the smartest one in their friends group. They're still stupid, but they're the smartest of the stupid people around them. And I think that's what we're dealing with here, is 2 smart, dumb people.
To bring it back, they are Luke Wilson in Idiocracy.
I would have said Dax Shepard, but fair.
They're the smartest of all the dummies that are there.
Yeah, which is it's just sad to see, like, because I wonder sometimes, are they really this dumb or are they playing? And most of the time, they really are that dumb. They're well-educated, stupid people, well-educated in propaganda, but still well-educated.
I don't think you can get to some of the depths of stupidity they get to purposefully acting it out, without it being obvious.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be the Hey Vern guy sincerely. We all can see that you're playing it up.
Yeah, and it's obvious when people are playing it up most of the time. Every now and then they'll throw me a curveball, but generally speaking, I'd be like, "Yeah, that person's dumb," or "Yeah, they're playing it up." You see it a lot with when I was working with special needs kids. A lot of them would play up their disability to get out of things.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And we didn't fall for that shit. After like a week, you're like, nah. You just go clean your room. Stop being a lazy bitch.
No, I think they're genuinely this stupid because it goes back to their ideology, Jack. They find what they want to be offended at, and then try to figure out why they're offended.
Yeah, they try and find a reason for them to be offended at it because they're offended by fucking everything.
Sorry, ain't no reason we shouldn't be looking at Sydney still. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get offended by everything, and they're not actually even offended. They're looking for something to be offended at. And occasionally they'll come across something real. Maybe they run into a Nick Fuentes kind of thing. But more often than not, it's stuff like this. Like, oh my God, look how racist that ad is. It says the pretty girl has nice jeans.
Yeah, there's a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes and a white background. You can't tell me they didn't plan that.
The whole concept is just asinine, and that we have a whole industry based on this, and several industries actually, whether you're talking about your HR departments or your DEI initiatives brought into companies and shit. It's kind of really stupid, and I can't believe it's lasted as long as it has. This is some shit that should have lasted maybe a year before everybody went, wait, that's stupid.
Yeah, well, it's a big money sink too, but they're so worried about offending everybody now.
It's put in check. Oh, whoops, my internet dropped for a second. I don't know what you missed. Luckily, the media has been put in check, and I think we'll see more return to normalcy. There's back to where it should be. That ship has sailed. It's why you still see conservative commentators who spout feminist bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just that ingrained. So even one says not everyone should go to college. Most people should not go to college.
No, you can educate yourself on the classics of literature and stoicism on your own. You don't need to go pay thousands of dollars to have some commie tell you about it.
Especially the way we use college now, it should basically be technical schools.
Yeah, I think we'd be better served going that route anyway.
And you can't send that many dumb people to college to study things that are more philosophical in nature, because most people aren't smart enough to see where that leads.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the classics like that of like Aristotle and stuff, the philosopher types, you do have to be of a certain intelligence level or wisdom level to understand what they were saying. Otherwise it gets corrupted, I guess.
It gets really gross really quick.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of that these days.
But with that, I think we'll wrap this one up. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are fucking awesome. Jack, anything you'd like to shill out?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos. But as always, thank you guys so much for the donations and all the support you give us. You guys are awesome. And we really greatly appreciate it. This is our jobs. And don't forget to check out the Teespring stores, because we haven't mentioned those in months.
I haven't been to my Teespring store in like well over a year. I should probably check that out.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. I check mine all the time, and it's always like, no sales.
Guys, don't leave just yet. Leave a comment down below and give it a like. We got 200 people watching here on YouTube. Leave a comment under the video. I love that you chat with us in chat, but do me a solid and go down there and say Monkey has a big, beautiful penis, or whatever you want.
Yeah, there's a rumor that a lot of the likes won't count unless they hit the like button. It's not just a view that counts. It's a like and a comment.
That is, by the way, that is nonsensical.
Absolutely.
It's no, I don't mean that practice. I mean the people who think that's what's happening. That is absolutely 100% not happening. But we do get rewarded for comments. So even if you've liked it, even if you've written in chat, just leave a comment down there saying Monkey's got a penis I like, or whatever you want to say. So with that, Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Sydney Sweeney's got good genes, and she's hot.